ESPN Wisconsin.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher, here's the Emmy Award winner, Homer.
This is Green Bay loss. I mean, it's officially Green Bay game night. I'm Homer, along with Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. But it's a loss, 24-14. I'm not sure it was that close. I'll have to think about that. But that'll wait because always Green Bay game day, game night, game overnight, game whatever starts with the Mark Tauscher opening statement. Take it away, Tausch.
Okay. I am not going to sit here and overinflate what we saw. Detroit is a better team than we are. We continue to show the mistakes that we've made all season. We continue to do it. Penalties. I'm not discouraged. I'm not going to go in the camp of we should have started Malik Willis, which I saw on Twitter. I saw everywhere. And I'm not discouraged about this football team. This is part of a process. And the Green Bay Packers right now are a good football team. They're not a great football team. They have room that they need to catch up to get to the Detroit Lions and the best teams in the league, because right now you're still a young team that makes mistakes. And when you make these mistakes, you can beat Jacksonville. You can beat Tennessee, but you're not beating the big boys. And that's where this team is. So for us to think it was going to be something completely different today, you didn't play a clean game. It was a sloppy field. You played sloppy football. Your quarterback made some sloppy decisions. And the Detroit Lions just took advantage of it, didn't do anything special. And they beat us today, and they're a better football team on November 3rd. But last time I checked, the season doesn't end on November 3rd. This team always gets better and better. So while I'm disappointed with the result today, I am still not remotely discouraged by what we just watched at Lambeau. I still think this team is going to be there at the end, but you're going to have to grow up and not continue on this trajectory against good football teams, because if you do, you're going to have a disappointing postseason. That's my opening statement.
What did they do to make you feel this way?
Because I still think, I don't know what Jordan Love threw for. I don't know what Josh Jacobs ran for. I don't think Detroit dominated us. Do you think Detroit dominated? Look at the stats, and I know stats, you can say stats are for losers and all the other stuff, but this wasn't a game that Detroit just shoved the ball down our throats the whole day. This wasn't a game where it was we continue to beat ourselves. Now, what I am concerned about is the fact that we're not seeing that growth. We're not seeing that improvement. We're not seeing things cleaned up. And for everybody, and I'm sure tonight it's going to be a lot of woe is the team and everything else. And we had a bad game. There is no doubt about that. But I think when you look at this thing big picture-wise, Detroit's better than us. We thought that going in. Nothing changed about that other than a loss, and now the road to try to catch and get a one-seed or win your division is that much more difficult. But I think if we could position ourselves similarly to last year, I think Packer fans will be all right, and if we can get in that NFC divisional playoff game. But to answer your question, Jordan Love is hurt. Should he have played? That's up to people want to discuss that and however they do it. The bottom line is we're too sloppy of a football team right now to beat elite football teams. We can beat average teams. We can even maybe beat teams that are a little bit above that. But when we're playing the big boys, Philly, Detroit, Minnesota, you can put even Minnesota in there, you can't give up pick sixes. What was the game we threw the pick six? And was it Minnesota?
I can't remember.
The other one. All right, great drop. Anyways, when you play teams, we overcame it the last time.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Today, you can't do it against good teams. So I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke and say everything's great, because it's not. But I'm not going to be overly discouraged. I know how an NFL season goes. You have games, a sloppy night, and your backup center in there. The snap game hurt this team tonight. Couple possessions that were ruined by that. And the bottom line is Detroit right now is a more mature, more veteran, and a better team as we sit here in November. We said this last year after Detroit came in and whooped us, and then what happened? Thanksgiving, we whooped them. So all I'm saying is you could be disappointed, just don't be discouraged. That's how I want to frame. That's my opening statement. Be disappointed in tonight's game. Don't be discouraged about what the rest of this season looks like. That is going to finish my opening statement.
Mine is he shouldn't have played. They shouldn't have played Love. It's not a huge mistake, but having watched it, there was a mistake. He shouldn't have played.
Are we winning the game if Willis is quarterback?
No, but he's healthier, and there was no benefit. How did they benefit from him playing? Nothing. There was no benefit whatsoever. He made more mistakes. He fumbled. He couldn't move very well. What was the benefit of him playing? None. Zero.
He is your starting quarterback.
Fine, he's hurt.
The team believes in him.
Fine.
And he protected himself. Was he moving great? No. Looking back, would it have been better to let him rest and go? I don't know what his numbers were tonight.
All right, his quarterback grading was 69.7. 23 of 39.
He didn't have a great night.
270 yards. And then, of course, part of that was the joke at the end of the first half. So he got 41 yards. So, that meant nothing. And I want to emphasize, it's not a big mistake.
I know you care about.
It's not a big mistake, but he shouldn't have played.
Yeah. For most of the time, I would never even listen to this argument because I always want my starting quarterback playing. But tonight, with all of the scenarios we laid out last week and where we're at, I can understand why people, but I want my starting quarterback out there. Okay. If I believe he gives me the best chance to win, that's what I want. And that's what the Packers felt. And you know what? He hurt his football team tonight. That pick six, you can't continue to just willy-nilly turn the football over and give the opposing team opportunities. That was the ball game. Green Bay was not going to overcome that, even though they had chances. They got stopped on the 4th and 1, all the other stuff. You cannot do that against good football teams. Then you add in all the penalties. It just was way too sloppy. You don't beat good football teams. I thought Brady, and I know people are crushing Brady. I like Tom Brady.
Are they crushing?
I don't think he's a great analyst yet. I think he probably will get better as he keeps going. But his point at the end when Jordan just kind of willy-nilly at the 3rd and 1 kind of fluttered the ball, almost got it picked again. Understand the circumstances. Understand when you got to let one rip and try to make a play, and then live to see another down. It was 2nd and 1 when he did that. Thought that was giving you that situational awareness that you only can get with experience. And tonight, while it stunk, he did gain some experience. And if we remember last year, against our divisional opponents, he played poorly. And then the second time around, November, December, he played pretty well. So he's learning. He takes those experiences. The thing that I'm frustrated about as a Packer fan is we've just seen way too much of it this year. I don't know if it's lessons learned because he continues to make these same mistakes with his decision-making that is costing his football team. Even when they're able to overcome it, it's really difficult, and it doesn't seem as if he's making any strides in that direction. That's something, obviously, we need to see some improvement on.
They are lined up to talk with the Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Should we take a quick break and then...
Let's do it.
Get to them all. Jason, Nick, Jim, Mo, Ricardo, in various countries. Next.
More Green Bay game night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Enough is enough. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure the border, and defend our Wisconsin values. Here's Eric Hovde.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a 700-milliliter bottle of Water Joe at your local Festival Foods for 99 cents now until December 8th. Just purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. It's a great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drinks. Get that 700-milliliter bottle of Water Joe for only 99 cents through December 8th at your local Festival Foods location.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino's stay-and-play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Prairie Athletic Club is the ultimate destination for health, wellness, and crushing your goals. This is Sarah Tauscher. Say goodbye to post-workout aches and pains at the Pack's new Recovery Zone. With their assisted stretch and pneumatic boot sessions, you can get instant results, leaving you feeling refreshed and ready to tackle your next workout. Don't believe it works? Give it a try. Stop in, stretch your body, and relax your mind at the Pack. Visit prairieathletic.com to learn more. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, community.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
It's Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. Call the Boda Box Wine Line at 800-990-3776.
And it's Jacobs. Oh, there's nobody home. Josh Jacobs still going, and he's inside the 40. Finally, Joseph brought him down, but Jacobs, what a start for him. He picks up 37.
Yes, Jacobs had his moments, but final score, the Packers lose by 10, 24-14, and it was 24-3 after Detroit's first possession of the second half, and everybody's thinking what I was thinking, like, given the weather, they got no chance. And that was pretty accurate. All right, to the questions for Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Jason in Tosa, let her fly.
Yeah, Homer, I think I heard someone in their opening statement state that the Packers, quote, always get better and better as the season moves on. And I've got to respond, what? This is a team that has constantly folded against the tough teams come playoff time over the past 13 seasons. just like they folded at home today.
Last year, hold on. Last year, they shocked the world, crushing the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Homer. Hey, before
how did
Jason
they do
keeps
against
going.
the Niners?
Hold on.
How did
Jason,
they do against the Niners?
Okay,
yes.
Okay,
yes,
before we roll, first off, I never said anything about playoffs. I did not. So and I will let you finish. Can we pull up the stats under Matt LaFleur, what the team's record is November, December, and then January? Playoffs, I can't fight you on that. We've obviously been disappointing, no doubt about it. That's under the Aaron Rodgers regime. I don't think anybody would say last season with beating up on the Cowboys as a 7 seed and then having San Fran on the ropes in the year one of a rebuild. All that's great. Jason, continue.
Okay. Today, I watched a team that had a plethora of penalties, pre-snap and after. First play of the game, undisciplined. Keyshawn Nixon sets the tone with a 15-yard penalty. I watched a coach who's called a meathead on the other sidelines repeatedly have a disciplined team that plays in a dome, didn't drop a single pass that I can recall. I watched a team that on the other side, that special teams doesn't look like it's being coached by the most overrated, overpaid special teams coach. They know what they're doing. Frankly, I think Detroit took its foot off the gas at 24-3. I watched the Packers, and obviously Jordan Love is injured. I think they can play a lot better. The wide receivers are absolutely underperforming. The team is disjointed. I'd like to know if from Tosh, what part of this team can you hang your hat on at this point? Certainly not special teams. Certainly not the run defense. The receiving game is disjointed at best. Josh Jacobs was great. I tip my cap to him. But the red zone offense has been a work in progress all year. It doesn't look to get any better. We will beat up on the Saints. We'll probably beat the Bears, who look woeful, just like we beat the Jags in the NFC South. The Lions, even when we play the Niners, when are we going to actually stand up to a team instead of just being above average?
Quick question for you, Jason. Quick question for you. A lot of things you're saying there, I just said about beating up on bad teams, and we're not there. But if you called in last year, and I think we played Detroit a little bit earlier, I think we played them late September, and they did basically what they did to us tonight. Were you saying that same thing heading into Thanksgiving when we absolutely whooped them and got better last year?
No, because last year was a complete unknown under Jordan Love, and I give credit to Matt LaFleur and the team last year. This is a different year. We look. Okay. I mean, we've been down 45-10 at halftime against the two teams we've played, the Vikings and Lions, at home. We're not really that. I think we're going to sell stuff here. Oh, we came back and he threw for almost 300 yards. So what? We do not look like a team that's ready to compete for a Super Bowl, if that's really the goal. That's my point.
Okay.
Great. Thanks for the call. They're lined up. Thanks, Jason.
Good call.
Nick.
Homer.
Yes.
So, Homer, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because, listen, I can't sit here. I had this same conversation with you last year. It was an Amazon Thursday night game. And I remember having it. This is brutal. And he's right. A lot of unknowns that we didn't know. And I think I was much more disparate last year because I didn't know. Now I have an idea of what this team is. And yes, there are issues. But to answer the what are they good at? They're really good at running the football. We need to get Jordan Love healthy. No doubt. And yes, there's drops. But that drop, couple of the drops in the rain, back against you. Jordan went very good tonight. I know his stat line, he was not accurate with the football. A lot of decision-making issues. It was not his best night. So we either can look at it and say, this is Jordan, this is what he's going to be, or we could say, I know what I saw last year at the second half of the season. I am still banking on that. That's where my head's at. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but I certainly would have been right last year. And I certainly believe that this team has not played its best football, and they're 6-3 heading to the bye. I'm sorry, I am okay with that at this point. Detroit's better. We have a lot of room to go. We're not there. But the beautiful part about an NFL season, it's a long slog. And I'll say what's going to happen up in Detroit in that dome? I certainly will feel much better about it than what we saw today. Detroit is built for this. They're built for slop. They're built to run the football and play action it. They didn't do anything. They did not let Jared Goff do anything tonight. They said, don't screw up. We think Green Bay is going to screw up. And you know what? They were right. That's their plan. And if you want to say that Campbell ate LaFleur's lunch tonight and Ben Johnson had Hafley moving, I'm not going to argue. Their plan was implemented and executed much better than what Green Bay did. Much better.
Nick in Springfield, Illinois. You're on with Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Let her fly.
Abe Lincoln, right? And Abe Lincoln?
Oh, yeah.
That's home of Abe?
I believe that's true.
Yep.
I don't know exactly where in Illinois. But is it Springfield?
Yes, yes.
All right.
So I was.
Oh, by the way, the other pick six was against the Rams. Frank, our great supporter and
Frank.
Judge for this show.
You can beat a bad Rams team doing that. You can't beat good teams. That was my point. All right, go ahead.
All right. So, I would it's funny to say, but I would love to see Jordan Love just throw a ball away. Just throw it into the stands, buddy. Don't worry about it. He feels like he has to chew off, some big play every time he's looking downfield. And, it's not that I'm worried that I guess I don't want him to not be himself. I just want him to be like 85% of himself. And if he made a couple of bad picks every now and then, it'd be fine, but it's just too frequent now for me. And similarly, I feel like with Matt LaFleur, the offense that they run under Malik Willis looks a lot more like what I like to see out there. And I feel like there's some middle ground that we haven't really approached in his play calling. I didn't really understand, the weather was so bad. Some of those possessions we had in the first half and such, why we're throwing the ball over and over again when it's pretty clear that it's not good kicking conditions. Why don't you just keep running it and see if you can pick up the first that way? But regardless, I think there's, a lot of people are disappointed with what happened tonight, but I think the better half of the season is coming up next. And if you had told me that we were 6-3 headed into the bye week, and we really need the bye week, I'd be perfectly happy with that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next because I think the bye week will serve them well. And I think they'll get on track the way they need to be. I'm more optimistic.
Yeah, Nick, the better half of the season is coming up. Thanks for the call, Nick. Tausch?
Yeah, I agree. I from an NFL standpoint, with the way things are, and you have a young team, it's really hard, and I know people are going to say you're professional, you're getting paid all this money. You're not going to have your best every time you go out there. And that's why I'm encouraged when they get a tough win against Jacksonville and don't play their best. Would I like to see this team play a clean game? They've had one clean game all season. If you want to be very disappointed, that's what you could be disappointed about. I think the clean game was against Arizona. In Arizona, I know Jason had said Arizona stinks. Well, they're ahead in their division. They're the leading team. They just whooped the Bears. So, great, you could say that, but Green Bay played a very clean game. Jordan is still figuring things out. I think we have to continue, and I have to remind myself that he is only 24, 25 starts into his career. He's still learning on the job. He's still going to make mistakes. I wish he'd stop. I wish he would start making better decisions. He's not there, and we're still. Last year was I don't know how many times I asked Chris Larson or Jesse Nelson, any of our producers, to play Growing Pains because that was last year. Well, guess what? There's still growing pains, and today was another stark reminder that he fought through injuries, which I respect the heck out of. He competed his tail off, and he wasn't 100%, and he did not play his best ball. I'm hoping this rest and this bye week, he gets out of town, comes back. You got an 8-game push, And I would bet that this team is going to play its best ball in November and December.
Yeah, the concern would be the last 8 games of the regular season last year, he had 1 interception. He's thrown an interception in every game this year. He's now got 15 touchdowns, and he was okay with the interceptions, as I stated games ago, when he was throwing touchdown passes. He hasn't thrown one in the last 2 games. Jim in Saukville. Packers lose 24-14. Jim, you're on with Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Let her fly.
Good evening, gentlemen. I don't think I've ever watched a game where my attitude went from it's closer than the score seems to it's not even as close as the score is. And I think what really turned me around was that, I don't know, I was really disappointed in that the inability of the defense to stop that last drive. I don't know, that bothers me more than anything else. And the second thing is, what did you think about the offensive line play?
Well, I thought it was choppy. Obviously, you take Josh out of the equation. You have at least 3 snaps that were issues tonight, and one that absolutely killed a drive. So the blocking part of it, I thought in pass protection, obviously ran the ball very well in the first half. But I would say it was okay. I wouldn't say it was phenomenal, but I don't remember Jordan running for his life a ton. So I think all in all, I thought the O-line gave this team a chance to win the game tonight.
Hey, guys, my son said that they're just playing with us, Dad, meaning the Lions' offense. When they're going to have to move the ball, if the Packers score a touchdown, they'll do so. Do you agree with that? Were they simply playing with us until that last series where they just seemed to move the ball at will? Were they playing with us prior to that?
I would vote no. Tausch?
No. I think they knew. They went for it on 4th down. I think they knew they needed to do a certain amount, but I don't think playing with. I think they thought coming in with Jordan's injury and with the weather that they didn't need to be super dynamic tonight. They didn't need to just be smart with the football, because if you just didn't watch the game and you just looked at the stat sheet, you would have thought Green Bay won this game going away. But that's why it's not always about stats. It's about the understanding the game flow and understanding what you need to do. Goff was 18-22 for $137 tonight. $137, but he never put the ball in harm's way. There was not one time he got sacked, I think once, but there was not one time that he was even close to turning the football over. Where Jordan, it was a couple of times, he obviously threw the pick 6. It was just a steady Eddie. We're going to do what we do. Don't make any mistakes, and we're going to walk out of Lambeau with a win. We don't need to be gaudy with our game plan, and that's what they did.
We allow them to do it. We allowed them to do that, and I think we can take them in Detroit later on.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Jim. Write that one down. Can take them in Detroit later on. Shugs or whatever Tausch calls them. Sugar-free. Next.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Just who is Peter Barca? Barca is a career politician we simply can't trust. We can't trust him to protect law enforcement because Barca raised money for an anti-police group that called our officers occupying soldiers. Can't trust Barca on the border either. He voted to support sanctuary cities putting violent criminals before our families. And while fentanyl floods our streets, Barca chose radical politics over our safety. Our veterans can't trust Peter Barca. He voted to cut the benefits they earned and deserve, endangering our families and communities, dishonoring our veterans. We just can't trust a career politician like Peter Barca.
I'm Brian Stile. I'm working to support families, stand with law enforcement, and honor our veterans. Families are struggling to afford the things that they need. That's why I'm working to lower costs and stop wasteful spending. I'm Brian Stile, and I approve this message because together we will get our country back on track.
Paid for by Style for Wisconsin.
If you want to win at tailgating, you need to Boatify your beverage choice. Boatybox Wine is the ultimate addition to your tailgate party. This premium wine comes in an eco-friendly box, fitting perfectly in your cooler or trunk. And there's no heavy glass or corkscrew to deal with. One 3-liter Boatybox is the equivalent of 4 bottles of wine, so it's great for sharing. Bring the wine that wins with wine critics, where there's quality in every sip. Boatybox. Be open to anything. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older. Boatybox Vineyards, Manteca, California.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Get your team ready. Registration for Madison School and Community Recreation's Adult Winter Basketball Leagues is now open. With nearly 200 teams participating, nights will fill up fast. Jesse Nelson here. MSCR Adult Basketball Leagues offer fun for every level of player. 8-week play begins in early January. MSCR welcomes all participants and encourages you to register for the league that best fits your identity and needs as an athlete. For more information and to register, go to mscr.org.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. You're listening to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. React to the game by calling the Boatybox Wine Line, 800-990-3776. Flush it.
We failed multiple times with bad ideas. I didn't know were bad till I realized they didn't work.
Or flesh it.
Yeah, that's one idea. Or we can work as a team.
Brought to you by Gordon Flesch Company. Business technology managed. Taking the worry out of your office equipment and IT needs.
Yes. 24-14, the Packers lose. Flesh it or flesh it. The problem that Jordan Love has throwing interceptions. I vote strongly that you certainly can't flush it because the season for the Green Bay Packers depends on the health of Jordan Love and his ability to limit his mistakes. The two may be combined. Right now, the Packers are suffering from both. So I leave it to Tauscher now, but...
Homer?
Yes.
Quick question for you. Are Packer fans delusional in thinking that Malik Willis has been a better quarterback this season for this team?
I don't know. Hasn't he been?
I'm asking. I I got texts and tweets
he's
coming at me.
played better than Jordan
Just
Love.
for the record.
This year.
He's 2-0 as a starter.
Well, 3-0. Yeah, I'm 3-0.
Well, they've won 3 games with him playing. He's been star-spangled awesome.
Right.
When he's been in there.
Yeah.
I think LaFleur's had fun. But I just want to make sure I'm crystal clear. I wanted Jordan Love to play today. If he was healthy, he was healthy enough to play. And I am still on the Jordan Love bandwagon. But I am not going to sit here and poo-poo or dismiss fans' feelings about today's game because of that bye week. But I will poo-poo anyone that thinks that Jordan Love should not be the starting quarterback. When I'm not going to go down.
They're nuts.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
He's not healthy. He shouldn't have played
Sometimes
today.
you're zany.
Yeah,
you
fine.
get zany with stuff.
Yeah, he's not. He wasn't healthy. He shouldn't have played. That should be clear to everyone. I hope LaFleur understands it. Not maybe he won't.
Pull that, Homer.
Yes. There is no benefit to him to play. We saw him play. He's not as good. He doesn't get to run around. He stays in the pocket. He threw another bad interception. There was no benefit to him playing. No one can even make one out.
Before we get to Shug.
By the way, so we should flesh it that it's still to be issued.
Oh, it takes a team. Yeah, there we go. It takes a team to meet just about any goal. That's true on the football field as it is in the office. Gordon Flesch Company has been providing cutting-edge technology for companies of all sizes for over 65 years. Visit gflesh.com to learn more. I want to flesh out this whole idea of, and Shug will give us a great answer, if the Packers screwed up playing Jordan today. I'm curious.
Well,
I
let
think
me just
fans
ask,
feel
screwed
that way.
up, does that mean it's a big mistake? Or if I say it's a mistake but not that big a mistake, does that still
Let me
mean
tell
I
you
believe
something.
they screwed up?
Is Malik Willis throwing that pick six?
No.
He's not.
No.
Are they going to run the football and stick with it the whole day and have a quarterback that's going to put more pressure on a defense in a sloppy game? They would.
Yeah.
So you take 7 off the board. And everybody that's saying, well, Detroit could do whatever they wanted, they're toying with us. No, I disagree. They had some drives. They scored 17 points today. And they had to do it on a 4th down. They had a short field on another one. Obviously, the pick 6 I don't count for them. Mm-hmm. So let's not act like Detroit was just running up and down the field on Halfley today, because that's not what happened. Did they move the football, and were they an effective offense? They were. And it's something I think moving forward, you can wonder if he didn't put enough pressure on and if he didn't do enough to stop the run game. I don't know what. I'll have to look at what their run stats are. But Malik Willis, under today's circumstances and the way that Jordan played, that mistake is what cost this team the game today. It did. You don't beat good teams. We said it last time. There's 3 turnovers, the pick 6, and it was like 8 or 9% chance to win. Well, they used up their 9 lives on that game. They're not getting one against a good team throwing a pick 6, and that's what happened today.
Let's go to sugar-free. Shugs, or whatever. What do you call them, Taus?
Shug.
All right, Shug, you're on. Let her fly.
I agree. I agree with everything Taus says. Everything he said. Jordan Love should have started. We're 6-3. We're not 1-5 like the Bucs.
Hold on. Why should he have started?
Why should he? Because he's our starting quarterback.
Okay. All right.
Our starting quarterback, the best quarterback. He can make plays. I don't care if he can't get out of the pocket.
You don't?
Don't? I don't care right now. No,
Wow.
I don't care. It gave us the best opportunity to win. I was at that game. It was terrible. Terrible conditions. And all I saw, I just want to add this. And because I'm not a player, I'm not a coach. That officiating was horrid. The defensive backs and safeties for the Lions were holding every single play. It's getting disgusting. This is what the Lions do. They hold, and they don't get called for it. I don't know what the heck is going on, but you go back, You go watch that game again, and you watch, and you're going to – I saw it from the stands. So not happy about that. But it's one game. It's 6-3. We still have an opportunity to win the division. We have to go back to Detroit like we did last year and kick some butt. That's all there is to it. And when San Fran, like Tausch says, we need to play a good team and beat them. We need to beat San Fran. Now, they may not have a record of a good team, but they're a good team. They're probably going to have McCaffrey then, and we need to beat them. So Love blamed, I just heard the press conference of Love. Love blamed drops. He blamed the drops. So that's coming from Love. He did not.
I don't like
see,
that.
He did not
blaming
see
your
the safety.
players. We'll have to hear that.
He did not. Well, he did not see the safety. 31 did not see him. Saw Jacobs breaking out. So he didn't take. I mean, he said he shouldn't have done it. Right. He said that.
I don't think he thought that pass could be intercepted, given the nature of the pass and
he didn't see him.
It was a screen pass. He had some pressure on him.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a.
But you
it was a
almost
bad
never
decision.
get
Throw
a
it at his
screen pass
feet.
intercepted.
They
Yeah.
covered the screen. Throw it at his feet. Move on for another play.
Yep.
So,
thanks, Mr. Brady.
Thanks, Shugs.
Hey,
I
Shugs,
don't
you
think-
actually, they're not going to win the division. Come on. Let's just move on from that. They're not winning the division.
Whoa.
Whoa, what? They're not winning the division.
Homer, they have, they own the tiebreaker until they play again. Like, let's slow down on all that.
Well, I still
do
like the
think
team. They're not winning the division.
Detroit is in the driver's seat to win the division. I'm not arguing with you on that.
Yes, and the Packers are riding
Detroit
a bike.
is probably going to pick up a pass rusher over the week. It sounds like they're going to get Zadarius Smith. Big deal. All right, great. The bottom line on today's game was Detroit is more mature. They didn't make those mistakes. And as for the penalties, I don't want flags thrown. I think Green Bay clutches. I understand Shook's point. What did you think of the ejection from New York, Homer? When they ejected,
I like this. The
their
perfect
stud
example. The hit was late, and he went helmet to helmet. That's exactly what players have to be told not to do. You lead with your shoulder. Other guys ever did it.
I'm
was
fine.
Perfectly
Listen,
done.
I'm fine with the penalty. The flag was great. I think you get him a big, fat fine. I am not interested in doing this like college football at all. And if that happened to Xavier McKinney, I would say the same thing. If it happened to Jair, I do not want guys. Now, if you're habitual, fine. I don't know this guy's history. I don't love that we just are now going to college rules without anyone having discussions about that. And if some dude in New York calls up and tells the refs to drum the dude, I got issues with that. I don't like that one bit.
All right. 1-800-990-3776. Holy smokes, these people. Mo in Illinois. We let her fly with Mark Tauscher.
I have no doubt that Jordan Love has an incredible amount of talent. But as a fan, the way I feel right now, currently, is that he has to regain my trust as a fan. His decision-making has been so horrific. He cannot... I don't even know what to say. That was really rough to watch today. And I understand he's not 100%. And Homer, you're saying he shouldn't have played. I'm in the boat where I think if you're healthy enough, you need to play.
He's not healthy enough. He's not.
Well,
he's a statue. He looked like Lynn Dickey.
Well, clearly the Packers thought he was.
I know, and they were wrong. And they were wrong. He was healthy enough to get out there and protect himself. He's not the same player. But
well, he said after the game, his turnovers and decision making is something he's going to put emphasis on, which he better to have for the Packers to have any shot at playing in the Super Bowl or even in the playoffs, let alone. But here's what bothered me the most about this game. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown coming into the stadium with the Green Bay Sox sweatshirt. You have Lambeau Field looking like Ford Field out there, stadium filled with blue, chanting Jared Goff even after the game in the concourse. And it seems to me that no Packer out there on the field took that personally. I didn't see any passion. You even had a clip where there was a Lions player trying to, roll like Jordan Love's ankle when he was on the floor. And I played left tackle in high school, Tauscher. I don't know what the lineman coaches say in the NFL, but I was always taught if somebody messes with your quarterback like that, you rip his head off. And that's what the Denver Broncos lineman did last week to Bo Nix.
I saw that.
I was very, very upset that no Packers player responded to that, and I didn't see any passion out there on the field with the Lions coming in, winning 3 straight years in your home, and it seems like it doesn't bother them. That's bulletin board material. And I'm also upset that Jair Alexander keeps missing these big-time games because his energy and passion, we certainly miss it on the field tonight. So this Packers team needs to toughen up. They need to get some passion in there, and don't let that happen ever again to your quarterback. That's pathetic.
Thanks, Mo. I think they've lost two in a row
Rack 'em.
games to Detroit. Not
Rack
3,
Mo.
but yeah. All right, we'll line up the rest of them, and then we will have the dog.
Hey, Homer, I didn't get a good look because it was raining and people were ponchoed. Was there a lot of Honolulu blue in the stadium today?
I can't really say that I noticed it that much. I don't know.
If someone calls in next, whoever calls in next that was at the game, I'd love to get.
It's pouring rain, and you're getting your butt kicked 24-3 at the beginning of the second half. Everybody was thinking what I was thinking. This game is over, not because of the two teams, but the nature of the weather and everything. Could you have a game worse than this? You go there,
Homer,
they're getting
are the
whooped,
Green
and
Bay
it's
Packers
pouring rain.
built?
What?
Hey, are the Packers built to be? We had this discussion with Rodgers all those years.
they're not tough. He's not tough. He's smart.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't want to be tough. He wants to be
Who
smart.
are you talking about?
LaFleur. It's always been that way.
Interesting.
But you can win. They're
I think Goody is built. I think Goody has built a team with toughness in mind. I think that's what he's done.
Oh. All right, let's think about that.
I just got an update from our great friend, the sleek 60-year-old Gina Della, who was at the game today, and she said lots and lots of Honolulu blue in the stadium.
You probably didn't notice it because they were all wearing the ponchos and stuff, right? That's what I noticed when they went to the crowd.
That ain't great. That ain't great.
No,
okay.
That ain't great. That has nothing to do with the damn game. The team has to play better.
Well, Mo just kind of got after the group for not, bowing up and doing all this
stuff.
I know.
Well, I don't agree with Mo.
If it's 50% Honolulu blue, it's not home field. And I don't think that's not what Gene is saying, but that whole concept of bulletin board and all this other stuff, you got to go and play. And you can't make dumb mistakes. And that's what we're doing. That's why we're losing to really good teams. We were not. It's not like we got wiped out today, and we were just not in
Packers
the same
beat themselves,
weight
right?
class. We crushed ourselves today.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
All right. The dog of the game. Can't wait to hear
boy.
Tausch on this one.
I don't know. Is there somebody? There's a lot of dogs.
Yes.
I don't know if there's. Well, there's one low-hanging fruit. I don't know who else there is.
It might not be big dogs, but there's some dogs. Next.
All right.
Next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. Whether I'm headed to a big college football game or just need a reliable ride, I trust AccuTrans Group. They're a veteran-owned business that delivers top-notch transportation, perfect for game day or any event. From tailgates to team outings to corporate travel and weddings, AccuTrans has you covered. Booking is a breeze, and their service is always safe and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to book your ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com, your go-to for reliable transportation this football season.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait, these popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts?
Gina, Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
No, listen. If they made our goalposts just a little wider, and why just yellow? It's Green Bay. Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, I get it. You can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want. From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
And this has got to be the Pella Dagger.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 60 months at PellaWI.com. Okay, now I've got popcorn and soda.
Right here.
$22.50, please.
Too bad we can't customize concession prices.
That's it. You got this, partner? I'm out of here.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
On ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
We got dogs.
It's time for the Sit Mean Sit.
Yeah, we got Jimmy.
Dog of the game.
John Money Alexander.
Christian Watson. Quay Walker.
He's a dog.
Kenny Clark. Jordan Love.
Presented by Sit Mean Sit Dog Training in Waukesha and Milwaukee. Visit sitmeansit.com.
Yes, it's that time. You never know who Mark Tauscher is going to pick as dog of the game. And we're going to learn about low-hanging fruit. You claim there's low-hanging fruit in this game as well, huh?
There's definitely low-hanging fruit for the dog of the game. I'll leave him for you.
Am I to assume? I never know. I'm working on low-hanging fruit. I'm assuming that's Josh Jacobs?
Correct.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say Jaden Reed, but...
Oh, well, that's who I was going to go with.
All right, we'll
is
go
that
with
too
it.
low-hanging a fruit?
No, I mean, you're the one who...
I just love Jaden Reed as a player. He's tough. He makes tough contested catches. He'll do jet sweeps. He blocks. He'll return punts if you need him. He does everything you ask, and I think he just continues to show up week in and week out. I'm going with Jaden Reed. On a game where there's a lot of dogs, but not in a great way, Jaden Reed is my woof, woof, woof dog of the game.
I feel like I want to ask you, I have a feeling at time when they take Josh Jacobs out, and I don't want him to take him out. Well,
he got dinged up a little bit. Yeah, he's He's a bell cow. And I think I give Brooks a lot of credit. He was another guy I was thinking about because he came in and did a couple things, and I thought Emmanuel Wilson came in and did a couple things. But he's the guy. And I think we're so used to platooning guys and having that kind of that you sharing carries deal, and not anymore. Josh Jacobs, when he is not completely gassed, he needs to be out there. And I don't know how many years he's going to be in Green Bay, but man, he has been an effective, big-time back. He's got everything you're looking for. He's physical. He'll run people. He's built for a day like today. And I think, unfortunately, that pick six and kind of falling behind, and Detroit going down and scoring, coming out of the half, and you're down 24-3, you limit a little bit of that usefulness from Josh when really by the time we got the ball in the second half, it was kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, I was just asking that as a question. I think that in like every game, like even if Wilson's good or Brooks, I go like, well, why isn't Jacob still?
Well, Homer, that just kind of showcases how bad that interception pick six was.
Yeah.
Because not only was it 7 points the other way and momentum and everything else, but it changed the whole complexion of the football game. You saw Green Bay running it down their throat that first drive. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of success running against Detroit's defense. And then all of a sudden, at that point, it was 10-3, I think. No big deal. And you throw that pick, and all of a sudden, everything changed. And you couldn't do what you were good at on a sloppy day with a quarterback that was not 100%.
Now, this isn't as good as some of yours, pick six, but I feel like I almost have to give it to Quay Walker. So I'll also ask you a question. How do you get the numbers he has? And I don't remember seeing him other than when they go by him because he's on the wrong side. Quay Walker had 12 tackles, 7 solo. I think almost by definition, if you have that many tackles, you have to automatically be a dog.
Well, I thought the same thing because I was looking. I put in my mind I wasn't taking Jacobs because of the LHF. And then I saw Quay, and I thought the same thing. It's like, man, it didn't feel like there was much. It didn't feel like we had anything defensively. It felt like Detroit was just saying, we're going to play really conservative. We're not going to allow Green Bay to get in the backfield and make a ton of plays. We're going to play action, and we're going to run the football. And when they tried something a little bit, out there, they lose 11 yards on a double reverse jet sweep just because that coach can't help himself.
Yes.
So it just wasn't a day for a ton of big plays defensively, and they didn't get a ton of plays, big plays.
Well, they stopped them. They didn't run the ball that well with the overall numbers, but I don't know. Like Quay Walker's like Casper, the friendly dog. I mean, he's the dog of the game, but I can't remember anything he did. And he had 12 tackles. He had 7. No, I remember one tackle he made because no one touched the running back, and it was like 10 yards downfield. It was a classic tackle by someone else who you prefer me not to bring up because everybody likes him. But
Blake Martinez?
Yes, no, yeah, Hawk. A.J. Hawk. But he did prevent what would have been maybe a 30-yard run. But okay. I don't know if it's me. You have 12 tackles, 7 solo. 7 solo. I'm going to make you dog of the game, though, as I said, it's kind of Casper the friendly dog because I don't remember seeing Quay Walker do that much. Do you?
No, I'm with you. That's why I didn't pick him.
Right.
But I don't know. Is Casper a dog, too? I thought that was a ghost.
He is a ghost, but I just thought I'd try to make the connection. Because you don't see him. You don't see him. I don't. He, it's just the way he is. And I heard the defensive coordinator say that he felt like he'd been playing well the last couple of weeks before the concussion. I miss that too. I want someone to send me a tape of something that makes me think he's good. Right?
Yeah, I think he is a good, solid player, right, but has he been as impactful as the Packers hoped when they drafted him? The answer is no. Yeah. He has not been.
No, well, I've said he's not. They're not getting a contract extension, but I got to go back and watch the plays where he makes the tackle. 7 solo tackles.
Yeah, well,
I mean, nobody else.
In your film study that you always do, I'm sure you'll check that.
No, I never do it. I don't want to do it. I think maybe Bulaga doesn't know. I would ask you. You watch the game. Do you really look and go, I need to watch this a second time? If it's a questionable play, they show it 9 times on TV.
Correct.
Correct. But anyway, so I'm giving it to Quay Walker so that I can say, I think in the future, if anybody has 12 total tackles, 7 solo, I will by definition give them the Quay Walker dog of the game.
That's good.
I'm going to remember that. All right. Hold on. We had a guy from Canada who waited a week, and now he bailed out on us. If he calls back, the one waiting the longest is Mike in Green Bay. Mike, not to an hour, but significantly, you're on with Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
All righty. Yeah. Quay Walker, I was there. Had quite a few tackles, I think 2 or 3 in a row, but I don't know. I thought he played all right. What I did want to mention is, it seems like when Detroit, when they really committed to run to the ball, they're committed to run to the ball. They got to bring that skipper dude in and stuff and, run them trap plays. And yes, Jacobs had some good carries, but we don't have anybody to go outside like Aaron Jones on those pitches. Jacobs can't do that. Maybe Marshawn Lloyd can when he gets back. I thought maybe Chris Brooks could get something done out there, but we just don't have anybody that, can get to the outside and turn the corner and pick up 5 to 7 yards. That's the first thing. The next thing is going back in history a little bit. I believe Mark Tauscher was playing in that game when Amon Green had that 98-yard run against Denver. They used to bring in that other guy. I forgot his name. They committed to the run.
U71.
They committed to the run, and, I don't know. The next thing is, I got a whole bunch of things here. The next thing is, I'm so sick and tired of hearing LaFleur, beyond there, they're such a good team, they're a great team. I don't know if he says that in the team meeting, but after that, you become the stories you listen to. If you don't think you can beat this team, I don't want to hear that crap. You got to give them their respect. They're a good team. But, just be saying it, this, that, and the other, got to be saying something to change the narrative or something. The next thing is, I thought maybe Tom would have played center besides Jenkins and put him out to right tackle, but maybe that's not the deal. I just thought he would have been better at center today. And also some of those throws that Love had, once again, I called in before. We didn't get a stop against Houston. We didn't get a stop against Jaguars. We didn't get a stop again today. We didn't get a stop against San Francisco last year. When it comes down to the time, we don't get stops when we need them. But with the other thing I wanted to say is, once Tucker Kraft caught that pass, we're getting ready to score. It's no rhythm in the offense. Love is waiting for a play or something. And even in the third quarter with about 5 minutes left, I thought, you know what? We're behind. Why not go to the 4-minute offense? Get some rhythm going. Get something going, But, yes, it's a sloppy game. They're playing in the slop. Run the ball. I mean, something to get some rhythm going. Just once again, I thought LaFleur's play calling here in the last 2 or 3 weeks for rhythm is not where it needs to be when the rhythm needs to be there. And also, Jordan Love is so much better under center than playing in that, that shotgun day after day after day. I want him under center so he doesn't have to think. Just run the play action, boom, throw the damn ball. Not sitting there trying to, who's coming, who's not. Screw that crap. Run the play, He thinks too much. Just get under center. That's about all I got. I could continue on, but I'll stop there.
Nicely done. Mike, many have said, I'll defer to you on this, Taus, about Jordan Love or quarterbacks better under center. Do you watch and go, that's a lot different now? I mean, he can't do it now because, he's not healthy, isn't that? There's no way he would do it as much because of his health, right? I have that
Matt
part
LaFleur wants to marry plays up. And the hardest thing for defense, once you go into shotgun, defenders are thinking you're going to pass the football. So, yes, I will agree. If I'm an O-lineman, if I'm a running back, if I'm a wide receiver, I love it when you're under center because now I'm playing it Defensive line, I have to at least account for a run play. If I'm a running back, I want to get going downhill. Yes, I think that Matt LaFleur wants to do more of that. And I think that's one of the things we probably have to look at from an injury standpoint. I know when Rodgers pulled his calf, you couldn't go under center because he couldn't get back out. It was too much strain. Groin injuries, knee injuries. You started seeing more under center with Jordan after a couple weeks coming back. He's really good out of it. And I do think that injury, and that would be a good question for Jason to ask LaFleur tomorrow, if that limited what they could do on offense under the, from outside of being in the gun all day. It makes a difference. And yes, I wish we'd see more of that.
All right. How about a Tito's thought? I see that win or lose, there's always a way to find time and reason for a Tito's. Do I got that right?
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason, distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's is known for great vodka, but also for giving back and doing good for dogs. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Tito's, is it a little bit larger after a win or after a loss?
Ooh. So when I played, I would say after a loss. Now, probably still after a loss.
It's hard for anybody to have a better comment than that one right there. All right. And since you are departing, you can try as your closing statement, come up with you're disappointed, not discouraged. I don't know that I can come up with better. I'm going to steal that one on the show.
That covers where my mindset is at a fan. And I just want to continue. I know every week we live and we talk and we do all this stuff with the Packers, and it's a fun ride. Some weeks are better than others. This week, obviously, not going to end up being good. But this is a 6-3 football team when their quarterback has missed 2 games and a half of another one. He has not been healthy since Brazil, if we're looking at it objectively.
Mm-hmm.
And for this young football team to be 6-3 right there, even though it was a really tough loss, I'm still very encouraged that this is going to continue to get better because we've seen it. We see what Matt LaFleur and his football teams do. Now, that doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen, but I certainly have confidence that it will, and I think the second half of the season is going to be a lot better than the first, and the first half of the season is pretty dang good when you factor all of the variables into it. I'll take 6-3, even though it's a very disappointing loss against the Detroit Lions today.
Next week? No, there is no game next week. We don't do a show when there's no game, do we?
We do not do a show when there's no game. Homer, I'll say this too. We always laugh out with Matt LePay on our Badger stuff. We'll always laugh because there's a bye week in week 2. It was not a perfect time for a bye. From the Packers' standpoint, this is the perfect time. You're a little beaten down. You need a blow. You need to take a beat. Get out of town. Get your mentals right. You have 8 games, an 8-game push against some really good teams. This bye is literally the epitome of when they needed it. So I'm excited about that too, and can't wait for our postgame after a big win. I don't even care who we play next. We're beating them.
That would be the Bears.
Oh, the Bears.
At Chicago.
How'd they do today?
On the 17th. They got embarrassed. The noon game.
Interesting.
Yeah, there won't be 4 teams from the division making the playoffs.
Tried to tell you that a while ago.
You did say it. I listened. You were right.
Okay.
All right. Disappointed, but not discouraged. You can steal it, use it. Just give Mark Tauscher credit. Thanks, Tausch.
Cite it. See you guys.
The dog of the game, I do want to mention, brought to you by Sit Means Sit. If your dogs don't always listen to you, or you ask yourself, why don't they listen to what I say? Look no further than Sit Means Sit. You can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Contact Sit Means Sit Dog Training today in Milwaukee or Waukesha. To schedule a free consultation, go to sitmeansit.com and check out the Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. We have some comments from LaFleur. We have comments from Jordan Love. And Gary Ellerson will be joining us soon. And Jason Wilde. Did Jason give us a time yet?
He has not done yet.
All right.
No.
The Botobox Fine Wine Line, not so fine today, but the Botobox Wine Line, 1-800-990-3776. And people are lined up. It's awesome. Tailgating season is here, and Botobox Wine is your winning beverage with 4 bottles in one eco-friendly box. Or eco-friendly. Let's see. Eco, is it with that? Which is it, Pebble?
It's eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly. It's perfect for sharing and easy to bring along. Quality in every sip. Botobox. Be open to anything. Please drink responsibly. You have to be 21. They're still lined up, and I'll get to the callers next.
More Green Bay Game Night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Enough is enough. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure the border, and defend our Wisconsin values. Here's Eric Hovde.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys in girls' sports and in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. Call the Boda Box Wine Line at 800-990-3776.
Love, it's picked up. Now rolling out for the first time, and he throws an interception. It's picked off all the way down, and scoring for the Lions. It's Joseph.
Tauscher said it best. That cost the Packers the game. Who could argue that? Colts and the Vikings are playing right now, and both teams turned the ball over. I mentioned that because Potawatomi Sports in Milwaukee has dozens of self-serve kiosks and over 2,000 square foot video wall. Seating for over 200, full restaurant and bar, VIP deck and more. It's a sports betting paradise. Bet above the rest. Yes, a sports betting paradise. But there's no better place to watch a game than at the Potawatomi Sportsbook and over 2,000 square foot video wall. Unbelievable. So if you want to watch Colts Vikings, you can head over and you'll say, damn, Homer's right. 1-800-990-3776. Nick in Cincinnati, nearly getting to the standard of excellence, the Hall of Fame standard, waiting more than an hour. Close, but didn't make it. We can put you on hold again, Nick, if you'd like to get over an hour.
You know what? I already got to wait 2 weeks.
All right.
Lost the Packers again, so we might as well just
let's do it.
To it. I was kind of saying last week, I was with you. I don't think that Jordan Love should have played this game, and it's only because 3 weeks is nice, to give him a little bit of a breather. But also at the same time, like if they put Malik Willis in this game at home against the big boy Lions, and especially in these weather conditions, it's almost like they have nothing to lose. I mean, this Packers team, when they play like they have nothing to lose, it's different. And a caller called in earlier and said the energy was different on the sideline this week, and I kind of saw that too. But in hindsight, if Jordan Love plays and they win or they only lose by 3 and, he's not hobbling off, we're not even discussing this, right? But that's kind of my point on that. The Lions just know who they are. The Lions know who they are. Green Bay has done so well this year causing turnovers. And Detroit just, if you're on the road, it's 40-mile-per-hour winds, it's pouring down rain, it's the first time we played outside the whole time, you wouldn't have even known it. We're not even getting a snap. We're not even getting a snap. But the most concerning thing is the trade deadline's coming up, and I know it's fun, especially, how it is at ESPN to talk about maybe like a Myles Garrett coming in, or Max Crosby, or somebody like that.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they do anything. Be shocked. However, I probably should say less than shocked because they already did what no one thought possible, spending a huge amount of money for their safety McKinney. So he's made you consider this year could be different because he's already done it. Goody.
I'm saying with the trade deadline coming up, I think it's really obvious with the money invested in Rashawn Gary, the draft equity that we've invested in LVN, that you're banking on coaching making this pass rush better. That's it. There's really nothing that you can do to boost the pass rush. But I do think it's maybe an interesting idea, depending on how they look at Marshawn Lloyd coming back off his injury, off of IR, of maybe exploring the running back market. I think Josh Jacobs is the guy, but Brian Gutekunst has made a lot of really valuable trades. Maybe you go get a guy like Zach Moss from Cincinnati, or you get Travis Etienne from Jacksonville for, a fourth or a fifth.
I think they like their people more than you do. I don't think they have any interest in.
I like them too. I haven't seen Marshawn Lloyd. That would be really interesting to see, like coming back off the bye, like what this offense looks like if Marshawn Lloyd is. What was his knock in college? Health and fumbles.
Yeah, but he's just not going to play that much. Jacobs is the man.
Jacobs is the man, but same thing. We saw Aaron Jones dominate in the postseason, but we saw Aaron Jones look really fresh in the postseason. So Jacobs had a lot of carries early on. He's been very productive. I want to change the pace back, and I hope Marshawn Lloyd's that guy. Trust me, I hope Marshawn Lloyd's
I think everybody
that guy.
does.
I'm just saying the trade deadline, there's no moves. There's just no moves. And last but not least, I think the high praise that this coaching staff has had for Evan Williams and the film that he has put out, the Packers, I think, stole a stud. They stole a stud in the draft because he is an impact player for this defense when he is out there. Obviously, Jair Alexander. Like, imagine a game where, Jair is out there. They're without their number 2, Jameson Williams. It's a little bit of a different story. I'm on my St. Brown did what he wanted. And it's going to be very hard to see Green Bay beating Detroit with the simple fact that they are prone off of getting turnovers, and they're also prone to turning the ball over. Well, Detroit's not going to give you the football. They just showed you that, and it's just I would almost rather play them in Detroit if we played them in the playoffs. I'd rather play them in Detroit. I think this team looks a lot better. I don't even want them to see.
Well, the numbers that Pebbles threw me out, which may explain why you said what you did. Hold on, I got them here. They're like this is the first time since this first
field in the last 6 games against NFC North opponents,
and they're 0-2 this year in the division. Well, they've only played 2, but for the first time since 2015. But yeah, 1-5 in the last 6
2005.
games. What?
0-2 against the division to start for the first time since 2005.
Oh, 2005, not 2015. All right.
That's a Brett Favre year? That's a Brett Favre year.
Yes, that would be a Brett Favre year, yes. And yeah, 1-5 in their last 6 home games against the NFC North. So I'll never get to the point where I'd rather play.
I'll just leave you with this.
Yes, leave us with this.
Tausch brought up earlier that the way that LaFleur runs his offense is very calculated, but I'd really like to see Jordan Love and a no-huddle offense a little bit more. I would rather they've got the weapons outside. Not all the time, but just no huddle or hurry up just every once in a while, because they make some really nice plays when they run a hurry up offense and a no huddle, and they do it in pressure situations, 2 minutes and with games on the line. But we saw it with the Saints game. They started running hurry up offense.
Duly noted, Nick. We will pass this along to Jason Wilde and then see how they view that thought. Thanks for the call. And now, Jeff in Milwaukee, who has also been waiting nearly an hour. The Packers lose 24-14. Tausch said it best: disappointed, not discouraged. So you might be discouraged. That's just not his presentation, which I buy with. I will be discouraged only when I'm concerned about Jordan Love and that he's not going to be able to get healthy, or that he's not going to get better at fewer turnovers. And I still think he'll get better, but that's why I wouldn't have played him today. Yes, fire away.
So you're flying solo now, Homer?
Only for a few minutes, because Gary Ellerson will have his opening statements. I would guess pretty soon here, probably about the top of the hour at 8. We'll also have Matt LaFleur. We'll have Jordan Love. So it's a very, very short period, which means you're even more important. You better be good, or this segment will stink.
Okay, well, I'll do my best here. So here's the thing. This team, they're just beating themselves. That's what they're doing. Another team hasn't dominated them. They just keep making mistakes. They had 7 drop passes today.
Penalties.
But it's not just penalties, Homer.
Yeah.
They had 4 pre-snap penalties in the first half. That takes you from 1st and 10 and a drive that's coming along. Now you're 1st and 15. It totally disrupts the flow of the drive. Once again, they had 2 penalties on special teams today. So, and on top of that, I don't think Jordan's groin injury was the reason why he made that horrible decision and threw the pick 6. So I don't think it had anything to do with it. He's just got to get better at his decision making. I mean, it's just that simple, and I think he will. So the reason why I am actually optimistic is the reason we're not playing well is not because other teams are beating us. It's because we're beating us. And as soon as we stop doing that, I think we're going to be in much better shape.
Do teams that do that stop it at some point, or does it just kind of become part of who they are?
Well, that's a great question, and I'll put it this way. If they don't stop doing it, that falls 100% to me, in my mind, on coaching.
Yeah.
Okay? And Brady even had a great line in this. He goes, Coach Belichick said, you get what you deserve. And that's kind of what's happening to them right now. They're getting what they deserve because they're all these self-inflicted wounds.
And Tosh is right. You can't be big team. You can't be good teams doing that. And I don't know. Someone can check, but I just don't think there are many teams that have been really good and then lead the league in penalties.
No, I think you're right. I think it shows a lack of focus and a lack of discipline. So they've got to figure it out, and I think they will. But if they were a team that didn't have talent and weren't beating themselves, I'd be worried. But that's not true. They got a lot of talent and they are beating themselves. So I think they'll. The one thing you do know is what matters most is how you're playing at the end of the year. So we'll see what happens after the bye.
Thanks for the call. 1-800-990-3776. Still lined up. They might get to an hour by the time we get to them after this timeout. They're next.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Vote her out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Get your team ready. Registration for Madison School and Community Recreation's Adult Winter Basketball Leagues is now open. With nearly 200 teams participating, nights will fill up fast. Jesse Nelson here. MSCR Adult Basketball Leagues offer fun for every level of player. 8-week play begins in early January. MSCR welcomes all participants and encourages you to register for the league that best fits your identity and needs as an athlete. For more information and to register, go to mscr.org.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Daniels Construction is a proud employee and family-owned business serving South Central Wisconsin for 71 years. Want to join the team at an award-winning, self-performing contractor that's committed to quality and excellence in every project? They offer multi-trade career opportunities with on-the-job paid training and career growth opportunities. Whether you're looking to start a new project or a new career, Daniels Construction is building better futures, people, and communities. Visit daniels-co.com to learn more.
Winter athletes, how are you getting prepared for the upcoming season? Total Athlete Performance is here to take your game to the next level. TAP will get you prepared with individualized speed and strength training sessions available in both the Verona and DeForest locations, as well as remote options. Since 2017, TAP has been providing elite performance training in the Madison area to help every athlete become the best version of themselves. Sign up for your free assessment at tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Sean in Sun Prairie. Packers lose 24-14. 50 minutes. He makes the top 5, though not over the historically special 1 hour. Yes, Sean.
I've been on hold for 1 hour before. Shout out to...
Yeah, you may be a past Hall of Famer. That's possible. Yes, Sean. Excellent point.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 people lost this game tonight, Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. I don't understand
hold on. Why?
We don't... Yeah, no. Jordan Love giving up the easy pick 6. Jordan Love playing selfishly when he shouldn't have been. And Coach LaFleur calling an absolute disaster of a play game. He got out-coached by... superior coach in Dan Campbell. We ran the ball. I think Jacobs opened up with a 46-yard run, and then we go pass inside the 20. When the ball is slippery and our center clearly can't hike him the ball accurately, adjust. He's so stuck to his game plan, and
all right, hold on. Let me on the first possession, the Packers got a field goal. The second possession, yes, the first was Jacobs 37. Jacobs 4, Wilson 3. Then you had a penalty, offensive line penalty, that turned third and 3 to 3rd and 8, and then they were incomplete to Watson Long, and then they had to punt. So you would,
but you got. I mean, pound the ball. The good news is our defense is really good. They held that team to 256 yards. Of total offense.
That's a great point. I'll let you finish, but this is weird. The Detroit Lions had 261 yards, they said, in total offense. The Packers had 411.
441. Yeah.
Now that can happen when you have a pick 6. You get the ball twice.
Yeah.
But they didn't really have that long a drive before the pick 6. But yeah, the defense did well and only gave up 17 points. I mean, the Lions got 7 on the pick 6.
That's why Jordan Love lost this game, and Matt LaFleur.
And this is a Detroit team that had averaged 40 points the last 4 games. Yep.
Tauscher said last week if we held Jared Goff to less than 250 yards, we would be in a high position to win. And I didn't disagree with that at all. He didn't mind if Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery ran all over the place, which they kind of did. But not really. I thought we held them in check pretty well, too. So I think the defense held up their end of the bargain. The offense, Jordan Love just had a mind melt. And the 3 things in common with the 3 losses that Jordan Love has been in, it's been him. I mean, he threw a stupid pick against Minnesota. He threw a stupid pick tonight inside his own 5-yard line. I mean, it's his stupid mistakes. And to be honest, Homer, and here's the hot take. Hopefully, we don't, end up on his I'm going to rise above all the noise that's out there, and you famously get put on Jordan Love's coming out party for being great, but we are built for a game manager, and Malik Willis can do that better than Jordan Love at this point.
Where's this built for a game manager? What? I don't understand. How did you invent that?
This team is built for someone who can hand off the ball, and quite honestly, Malik Willis can run the ball too better than Jordan Love at this point. And when
you realize Matt LaFleur is running the team, that's never going to be the way he's going to do it.
I know he's got to get out of his way and adjust. The way you win this game tonight is running the ball 60% of the time.
Okay, well,
you can't force and throw the ball.
You agree that that's not going to happen.
I agree it's not going to happen, but he's got to get out of his way and pivot. If you get to the Super Bowl and your passing game doesn't work and you're down 20 points, you're done. Like you're going to stick to I came here with this plan, and you got to be able to adjust. I think he has shown time and time again he has the inability to adjust on the fly.
Well, he's the only time we've seen him adjust. When have we seen him adjust? Really, basically, only when Willis has played, right?
Correct.
Okay, because he doesn't believe that he has any ability to throw the ball on a regular basis, so I'm forced to run. But then the second Love comes back in, they're going to throw.
Yeah, and case in point why we lost tonight. It's 2nd and 1, we go pass. 3rd and 1, pass. And then on 4th and 1, when they're expecting it, they put 8 in the box, and Josh Jacobs can't make a yard.
Yeah, Tom Brady made mention of that. We won't get into Tom Brady too much here, but I would only hope him because people are gonna be critical and tough on him. Like the coaches will hear what he's saying and go, I can't believe you'd say that, because he was pretty tough on some of the plays and whatever. And my answer would be, I don't know if he's like this, but you have to say what you think. You're Tom Brady and recognize that people aren't going to like you. And you got to live with that. He seems to me to have the ability to do it, not knowing he's really doing it. Like to him, it's obvious, right? Did you get the feeling he's going like, what the hell are they doing? This doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
This isn't like...
No, and that's like, he calls it like a fan. And, if I were...
Right, but I mean, it wasn't...
Very similar to
it wasn't... It was more of, what the hell are they doing? Like, were you...
Yeah.
I mean, all the different things. And I hope he stays that way. Like somebody like Johnny Miller did that in golf when no one had done it before. But he kind of prided himself in fine, everybody's going to hate me. I don't care. People have to know that players choke and that they make mistakes and that they're, and Tom Brady did the same thing today. When's the last time you hear somebody as an analyst with the tone he had on some of the plays, right?
Right. No. Yeah. Collinsworth does it sometimes, but no, I don't disagree. Tom Brady's he's getting a lot of slack. I think he's doing fine. I didn't get that.
I didn't listen to that much. I usually listen to the radio all the time. It's a little bit faster than TV. Yeah, but I caught some of that when I came into the studio the second half.
Yeah, it's so captain obvious to everyone except Matt LaFleur. I can't figure out why he can't see it.
Well, I'll have to ask Jason that. Thanks for the call. 1-800-990-3776. And yes, Jay in Alabama, because he's been waiting almost an hour. Yes, Jay.
Homer, it's worth the wait, man. When I get to talk to you guys, this is awesome. I appreciate you taking my call. But I didn't hear Cal say disappointed but not discouraged. Was that the thing?
Yeah, and I agree with that totally. I like that.
Well, I like it, but I don't agree with it. Let me say this. I'm discouraged, and here's why. Because tough people win. And I just don't see tough when I watch the Packers. I've been a lifelong Packer fan. I've been a high school football coach for 22 years. I know what tough looks like. I've been a part of championship teams. I've been a part of bad teams. I've seen good Green Bay teams, obviously. I've seen bad Green Bay teams. When teams want to line up and punch the Packers in the mouth, i.e. Dan Campbell, Shanahan in San Francisco, Sirianni in Philadelphia, we don't handle that very well. That's not the MO tonight. Should have been line up and punch them right back in the mouth. Dan Campbell's going to tell you, we're going to punch you in the nose, and you better get ready to punch back because we're going to keep punching. We punched well early. Maybe Jacobs got banged up. I don't really know. I didn't see that. I didn't hear him report it, but that's neither here nor there. I think Wilson is the same type of run in between the tackles, more of a wrecking ball kind of guy, just like Jacobs is. as compared to Aaron Jones last year. Just stick with that. Just stick with that. If the pick six before the half, yeah, that hurt, but there's a lot of game left. I'm really sick and tired of seeing LaFleur win the toss and take the ball. We're missing out on the opportunity to double dip. Again, like I said at halftime, it's 17-3. There's a lot of game left. If you go down and score on the first drive of the game, yes, you've created momentum for yourself, which they're not doing. I think they've got 3 points the last 3 games on the opening drive. But there's still a lot of football left. There's plenty of time for the best team that executes the best to win the game. So I don't really know that you're really creating that much of an advantage for yourself by continuing to take the ball.
I just want to ask, don't you think this year that the Packers have looked more physical? They got players defensively that have made plays, and Williams was hurt. But as far as the offense, they've run the ball pretty well at times with Jacobs. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know I don't know what they would have. What would they have to do for UJ to call in and go, yeah, that's the physical play that I want? Is it an offensive thing?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go, yeah,
what I wanted to do is I wanted to stick with the run game.
All right.
I wanted to stick with the run game. Defensively, man, I think Hafley's doing a phenomenal job. I really do. And I heard the guy earlier say they didn't make the stop against Houston or didn't make the stop tonight. But I think overall, defensively, for what he's got to work with, because in my opinion, he's got just a bunch of guys. He's got a bunch of guys that were probably drafted higher than they should have been. And on the outside looking in, everybody sees first-round pick Van Ness, first-round pick Rashawn Gary, first-round pick Walker. They've got all these first-round picks over there on defense, Kenny Clark. They ought to be stopping people. They ought to be dominant on defense. But they're really just first-round picks that probably got drafted a little bit too high. Now, Kenny Clark may be the exception to that, but the other guys, what have they really produced? Nothing really like a first-round pick.
But so we're going to have to break. But you, more than anything, you'll call back when they run the ball more.
I got you. Thanks.
No, you will. That's first on your list, right? I'm not.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. That's good.
And especially when they beat. I tell you, if they beat San Francisco, I'll call back and say I'm the first one to eat the crow.
Yes. No, I agree with you with that. I think there are people that believe they can beat LaFleur because they just don't think he's tough enough. Like, I think that's clearly in San Francisco. But if you can create a defense that's tough and you're running the ball, I mean, I think that's his nature. He thinks more of smart than tough. But we'll see. And San Francisco will be a good test. I just think the Packers have more young players. They have more tough players, even with the ones that you mentioned that just flat aren't as good as everybody hoped. We need more from Alabama. You call in every post-game show, Jay, and next time you won't have to wait a week.
Got it, Homer.
Thanks. I know we got Jason Woolley coming up, LaFleur. We got Jordan Love and Gary Ellerson, all to come. It won't change the score, though. Packers lose 24-14 to the Lions. Next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again, quickly and affordably. Madison Computer Works has been doing that for business and residential customers for decades. Our computer care plans take away the hassle of being without your computer or needing to bring it in for repair. Starting at only $10 a month, our local and friendly techs provide remote help and can fix most problems in just minutes. Call 608-231-8000 and sign up today. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Black Friday is Cash Friday at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. On Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m., 18 winners will each take home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500 in our Cash Friday promotion. And at 8 p.m., one winner will take home the $40,000 grand prize. Plus, November 29th is Ho Chunk Day, and we're celebrating by giving the first 500 guests visiting our Rewards Club booth $25 in rewards play. Cash Friday is a holiday tradition at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Professional volleyball is coming to Madison this January. Featuring Olympic medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drew Schumacher, Love Madison Volleyball is Madison's newest pro team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 17th at the Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Madison matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The postgame is ready to roll. This is Green Bay Game Night, powered by ESPN Wisconsin. Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee, alongside former Badgers and Packers running back Gary Ellerson. Here's the Emmy Award winner, Homer.
Yes, it is that time. The score hasn't changed. Packers lose to the Lions 24-14. But we haven't actually talked to anybody who played for the Lions. Joining us now is Gary Ellerson, former Packer, former Badger. Ooh, this is a tough weekend. And former, I don't even know how long, with the Detroit Lions. Gary Ellerson now with his opening statement.
How you doing, Homer?
Not well, but not horrible.
Yeah.
I believe they should have listened to you. I don't think it's a huge mistake, but Jordan Love should not have played. There was absolutely no benefit to him playing based on what we saw, and not playing, he could have rested a little bit more, and he's just simply not the same player when he can't use his ability to run around. But I don't have the opening statement. You do.
Yeah, he was compromised a little bit, I thought. So they had to go to more shotgun, more pistol, so he doesn't have to come back and try to get the ball back to Josh Jacobs. So the offensive game plan was modified just a little bit. Cold, wet, rainy, windy. Those things are not good for a guy that has a bad groin. Just isn't. But I thought he hung in there. He's still not where we need for him to be yet, but it's tough to kind of judge him because he's still banged up. But I think one thing we do know is that he can't make those throws that kind of put you in a tough spot and get you that pick six that end up happening. And it kind of cost your team a little bit. And also, Homer, I think what we saw tonight is the Detroit Lions had not played a game outside this season. Tonight was the first game that they played outside in horrible conditions. And it felt like the Packers team was a team that used to play in a dome, and the Lions team had no problem with being outside. And I think we saw how far away the Lions are ahead of the Packers right now. I mean, it was very indicative. The Packers, to me, too many pre-snap penalties, too many drops.
Yeah, let me ask you, you played offense. How does that happen? It's been going on all season. I mean, the coaches get together, and I assume they start screaming at everybody. But
I think everything can be different, and each game can be different. But for me, if I had to put my finger on tonight's game, was because you had a different center in Elton Jenkins. I think that hurt them tremendously. I don't know if it cost them the game, but it most certainly threw the timing off of the offensive line. They were not in sync all game long. Now I'll probably go and watch the game again maybe tonight when I get home or maybe in the morning. But that line play to me seemed very out of sync. They weren't together at all. And so and to me you had all those snaps on the ground, all that. They just weren't right.
Now, they've had some trouble with that with the old offensive line, or just, but this just made it.
It felt even more magnified tonight than you're right. I mean, these films they've been going on all year long. You're absolutely right. Don't disagree. But they just seem to be more magnified in this game to me because of the low snaps on the ground. That made it even worse.
Why did they lose the game? Is it as simple as the pick six?
I mean, you can talk about that, but they lost the game because the Lions are a better football team. That's what the best team in football looked like.
Is it possible for the Packers to catch up? Like, the Packers are never going to be as tough as Detroit because their coach doesn't play that way. But they can count and hope on Detroit doing stupid things, which they can do every now and then. And if the Packers are tough enough and physical enough and are smarter, they can beat them, as they did last year.
Yeah, they can. I would agree with you. I still say they are an ascending team. The plays that they are making, the mistakes that they are making, can get cleaned up. I know Matt LaFleur today, I heard a little snippet in his press conference, got a little agitated with the media types because he was pressing them on the Jordan Love situation. But I think the things that they are doing wrong can be cleaned up. I mean, if you look at the Detroit Lions, I think the only thing that was egregious was the personal foul penalty that was made by one guy.
Yep.
He had two penalties, and that's all they had for a long time.
And the Packers still couldn't take advantage of that.
Right, they screwed that drive up. But that shows you how clean of a football team that they are. That's how far ahead they are, the Green Bay Packers right now. And they're the best team in the league, by far.
By far.
Yeah.
But I think if Jordan Love is healthy and Jordan Love can make fewer mistakes, the Packers can beat him. I think it's that simple.
Yeah, they can. They can, and pre-snap penalties. But you can't make those mistakes playing against the Lions. You just can't do it.
I was really surprised. as the weather got worse, I thought that Detroit's going to start running the ball. They're just going to have to run the ball. And yet, I think it was in the second half, and they passed the ball like 8 plays in a row. I think they talked about they were throwing the ball over the middle so that you didn't have to worry as much about the rain on the catches. But I was amazed at how they completed almost every pass given the conditions. Did that surprise you?
No, because that middle was open just about all night long. So it was an easy pitch and catch. And what the Packers then tried to do is get pressure up in Jared Goff's face. And once you do that, you get him off his spot, then Jared Goff will at least try to throw you 1 or 2. But Jared Goff doesn't have to do much in his offense like he used to. Gibbs and Montgomery, they're studs. That offensive line is absolutely, the Lions' offensive line is absolutely the best in the game.
I think they have the kid from Milwaukee, Zeitler.
Kevin Zeitler.
Yeah. Played for Wisconsin. He's like 35, 34, 35 years old. Yeah.
They're really good. And I can't tell. I mean, I felt like the defense played well enough to win. Did it feel like that to you?
It did, but in the second half, when they needed to do something, the first possession, they let Detroit go right down the field and made it 24-3. And the game's over. I said the game's over. The weather's too bad. You're not coming from 21 down. So, you had it was a 7-point game. You felt comfortable. It's close. The pick six and that drive, 24-3. Over. You can't. But
right, and that's what I felt. I was like, you know what? It felt like they played well, but then you got that drive, you needed to stop, and you couldn't get one. Absolutely.
All right, we will take a break. Oh, wait. How long's Greg been waiting? We've got Jason Wood. Let's get Greg. Can we get
Greg has been on hold for 20 minutes.
Can we get Greg on with Gary? We can do all of that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Greg, Packers lose 24-14. You're on with Gary Ellerson. Let her fly.
Yeah, I got a couple comments. First is the Packers edge rushers are horrible.
They're non-existent. The one time Rashawn Gary got to him, nobody blocked him.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And the thing is when the couple times that they sent a blitz and put pressure on him, Goff just threw the ball away, basically. And the second thing is, I haven't heard anybody say anything about LaFleur's coaching job when they're down 17 points. It was 18 points. They're down 24-6, and instead of kicking the field goal, they went for it on 4th and 1. They needed 3 scores. Kick the field goal, and then you're down 14 or 15. And then they came back and scored a touchdown and got the 2-point conversion. It would have been a 7-point game with 3.5 minutes left, and they still had a couple of timeouts. They wouldn't have had to kick the onside kick. They could have kicked it off normal. So that's my comment.
All right. Thanks, Gary. Or thanks, Greg. All right, Gary. Most of the discussion about not going on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th was in Brady talking about how, what the hell are they doing when they run the ball before 4th down? Or it was like 10 minutes to go in the game, and they were down 24-6. So if they get another field goal, then it's 24-9. They're down 15. I don't know. I didn't really give it that much thought because I had pretty much assumed they're not going to win the game because the weather's terrible and they're not really able to score that quickly. And that to me was, I think he wanted to get in because he just figured we're not going to be able to go right down the field and score quickly. I don't know.
Correct.
I wouldn't say that he's necessarily wrong. All right. We will continue with Gary Ellerson next.
More Green Bay Game Night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Enough is enough. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure the border, and defend our Wisconsin values. Here's Eric Hovde.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Get your team ready. Registration for Madison School and Community Recreation's Adult Winter Basketball Leagues is now open. With nearly 200 teams participating, nights will fill up fast. Jesse Nelson here. MSCR Adult Basketball Leagues offer fun for every level of player. 8-week play begins in early January. MSCR welcomes all participants and encourages you to register for the league that best fits your identity and needs as an athlete. For more information and to register, go to mscr.org.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Experience virtual golf like never before at the Bogey Factory in Verona. From family-friendly mini-games to monthly tournaments, the Bogey Factory has it all. Enhance your swing with their state-of-the-art TrackMan technology, or play a full round on over 300 virtual courses. While you're there, enjoy their full kitchen and sports bar. Whether you're looking for a fun day out with family and friends, or a unique location for a corporate event, the Bogey Factory in Verona has you covered. For more information, visit thebogeyfactory.com. That's thebogeyfactory.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Okay, antibodies, huddle up. We're a great team, but the flu is dominating. The good news is the human we're protecting just got his flu shots. That means all of us antibodies have strong new gear that will help us fight and defend against the flu. We must win so that our human can stay healthy and help protect the people he cares about most.
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect yourself and others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Is Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. Call the Boda Box Wine Line at 800-990-3776. The biggest plays.
Love zips it in there. It's caught for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs.
To set the tone for the green and gold. It's time for the high-energy play of the game.
Protected as well, firing to the middle of the field. Touchdown in the middle, Jayden Reed.
Presented by Water Joe. Water with a work ethic.
This could be tough, Homer, with Gary Ellerson. The high-energy play of the game. I'm open to you coming up with one better than the pick six, but that was the play of the game. And it was a high-energy play of the game only for the wrong team. So if you've got a better one, I will. I'll change, but I can't think of one.
No, I'm with you, buddy. That's what it is. Sorry.
We don't have a rule yet. But we don't have a rule that the high-energy play of the game presented by Water Joe has to be a Packer
As
play.
far as I know, no, we do not.
All right, now I wanted to ask Gary about that. I thought that he just kind of threw that there because he just assumed it couldn't be intercepted. Like that kind of a pass is almost never intercepted now. Tauscher talked about, well, you kind of throw it at the feet. But I think he was kind of throwing it away and didn't see there was any way that it could be intercepted.
No, he wasn't throwing it away at all.
Okay.
He was throwing it to Josh Jacobs.
Right.
That's what he was doing.
But there were like five people in between him and Jacobs.
Didn't matter.
Oh.
He thought he could make a play.
Oh, even though he's
That's
falling
what he was
down
doing.
and he's out of control.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it's really
you go
bad.
back, listen to his presser. He thought he could make a play.
All right, we're gonna play that a little bit because I have to hear that. We'll
Crazy.
Yes, right. You can't.
But that's what he thinks. We don't learn. We have to learn his mentality, and I don't think we know it yet. But I think I do. He thinks that he can make all the plays, and he has to know when to surrender. I mean, it was very similar to the play that he made against the Rams out there in L.A.
Yeah, but the 8 games last
Same
year,
thing.
he didn't do any of that, or maybe it just never. I mean, he did on the first down play in the playoffs at the end against San Francisco, but the rest of the time in those 8 games, he threw no interceptions. He had, I think, 1 interception in 8 games, and now he has had an interception, I believe, in every game they played this year. Okay, what's going? I know it's the ability to see if he can make the adjustment to the adjustment, but.
Right. These are just plays that are broken plays, Homer, that he's trying to resurrect plays and make big plays out of them. He's got to learn to just throw it away. He hasn't just done that yet.
So he must have done that some of the time last year in the last half of the season, or maybe these kind of things never came up. What's your answer to why didn't it happen this year why didn't it happen the last half of last year and it's happening?
It probably did. It probably did, but he got away with it.
All right.
And I think now he's paying the price for it.
I mean, because to me it's the whole season. I don't care about anything other than his ability to get healthy, but maybe that doesn't make any difference in terms of his willingness to gamble. Well, do I need to just assume that's part of who he is? I mean, it did happen to him his last year in college when it was a mess, and he should have said, just because it's a mess doesn't mean I have to throw all these interceptions. But
right, it feels right now that's who he is, and Matt LaFleur's got to get his arms around it. They got to get a handle on it. When to just give up on the play. And right now he's not doing that.
Right, or versus doing it more like he does with Willis. Run the damn ball and simplify everything. Well,
you're never going to do that because you paid this dude a lot of money.
Yes, they believe he's too good to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the 2-4. He's played in 7 games. He's got an interception in every one.
Right, yeah. And they're not going to have the Malik Willis offense with Jordan Love. That's never going to happen.
They need a little bit more of it. He's got 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. You can't do that.
No, But I always said that they should have more Josh Jacobs in the offense with Jordan Love, which will cut down on the interceptions.
No, if you continue, if you continue to gamble, it's going to happen, though, right?
Absolutely. And when the play is, but the gambling homer, it's when it feels like to me it's when the play is broken down and he's trying to make a play.
Oh, all right.
Now he did throw one into double coverage to Christian Watson, which I think he overthrew.
Right. There was one. Watson is as fast as he is. Doesn't like there was one where he was just wide open for a long pass, and then it was overthrown or he slowed down.
Yes, that was weird. That wind was gusting about 45 miles per hour. So I think the wind probably carried that.
So how much do we just have to throw this tape out because of the wind and the conditions?
Well, I think there's some learning lessons still there.
Except that it didn't appear that it bothered Detroit. Right?
They didn't handle the weather well. They didn't handle the weather well. I thought Detroit handled the weather much better.
No, you nailed it. Detroit played like they were the home team and the Packers were the team that played in the Dome.
Right.
Yeah, you nailed that. No. Jerry, you're on with Gary Ellerson. Packers lose by 10. Disappointed or discouraged or... Go ahead. Go ahead,
Maybe some of all of the above. I get constantly frustrated by the Packers' lack of toughness, I think. So, for example, today, apparently before the game, St. Brown walked in with a shirt that said Packers suck on it. Now, Gary, I got to ask you, if that happened back in the Forrest Gregg era, wouldn't somebody put a hit on that guy?
Yeah, but the game is not played like that. Yeah, game's not played like that anymore.
Well, I understand it to a certain degree, but it just seems that, you know, he walks in with that, he walks away with a win, and now he's laughing about it. It's frustrating.
So I think promotes that. They want to be the bully.
They do. Right.
They get down with that. They want to be the bully. They let you know that. So that's all through Dan Campbell.
So what do you do when you play the bully? What would you, Gary Ellerson, you're now the bully expert of the current Green Bay Packers, and LaFleur calls you in on Tuesday to talk to the team on how to deal with a bully.
Well, I think because the game has changed so much and the rules are so wide open, very rare do you see a team like the Detroit Lions anymore. When last time you see a team like that in the league?
I can't. There may have been some, but they don't win, so nobody remembers it or notices it.
That's antiquated. Yeah, that's gone. I mean, you look at the 49ers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Chiefs. All those guys they don't play like that.
All right, Jerry, thanks for the call. We're going to break, and Jason Wood is coming up in a little bit, but we're going to pick Gary Ellerson will decide again. Who do you want to hear, LaFleur or Love?
I think I'd rather hear LaFleur.
You want to hear
agitated with the media.
All right, so we'll get to LaFleur. By the way, the high-energy play of the game, which we unfortunately had to give to the Lions, brought to you by Water Joe. Hydrate and energize with Water Joe. No sugar, no additives, and no off flavors. Just two simple ingredients, water and caffeine. They got it figured out. Find Water Joe for 99 cents per bottle at your local Festival Foods. To the coach, as suggested by Gary Ellerson, and Jason Wilde coming up at 9. Both are next.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Vote her out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts?
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
No, listen. If they made our goalposts just a little wider, and why just yellow? It's Green Bay. Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, I get it. You can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want. From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
And this has got to be the Pella Dagger.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 60 months at PellaWI.com. Okay, now I've got popcorn and soda.
Right here.
$22.50, please.
Too bad we can't customize concession prices.
That's it. You've got this, partner? I'm out of here.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
On ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
The Packers lose 24-14 at home to Detroit, and everybody will be discussing it. Pebble gave me the numbers that Rob Demoski passed along. Last 6 home games against division competition, the Packers are 1-5. They are 0-2 in the division for the first time since 2005. The Lions also have beaten them now twice in a row at Lambeau Field. We will get to the coach, but first, Gary Ellerson will tell us and help us about what's available from one of his favorite partners.
We're talking about my good friends over at the Jewelry Center, 76 and Layton Plaza in Brookfield off Blue Mile Road in the Tri-City National Bank building, 3rd location for you folks in Burlington, Wisconsin. If you want to get the money for your the most money for your old gold to jury is going to be at the Jury Center. If you're going to get the best possible deal on a piece of jewelry, it's going to be at the Jury Center. And the lab-grown diamonds are at the Jury Center as well, guys. Everybody's buying it right now for the significant other. I suggest that you too. Go check my good friends out today at the Jury Center and ask for the owner, Gene Murray.
And Gary Ellerson, you said I have it right. You want to hear from the coach, right? Not Jordan Love. You want to hear from the coach.
Well, let's see the coach get upset.
All right. Take it away, Coach.
On credit, they played a clean game, much cleaner than we did. I was disappointed with the number of penalties and just self-inflicted wounds that we had, and you can't do that against a really good football team. I think when you look at the sequence, in terms of them kicking 3 points right before the 2-minute drive, then we have a pick six, and then they come out the second half and score a touchdown. I mean, that's a lot to overcome right there, and obviously we didn't do a good enough job to be able to overcome that.
What do you, in the grand scheme of things, Matt, what do you make out of the game? Like, do you feel like you just lost the game? You made too many mistakes? Do you feel like you got some catching up to do with Detroit, or is it just?
I think Detroit's a really good football team. I absolutely do. You know, and when you're playing a good football team, you can't have those types of mistakes. I don't know what their number of penalties were, but we just had. You look at right off the jump, we get a personal foul or whatever. What they called on Keyshawn, the 15-yarder, which is totally unacceptable. And then we had multiple. They had their first drive. It's 4th and goal on the 5-yard line. We jump off sides, and it gives them an opportunity. They go for it. They get a touchdown there. And then when we were driving or getting into scoring position, it seemed like we had false starts. We had snaps. The ball was on the ground. Just way too many mistakes. And you cannot do that against a good football team because they're going to make you pay. And credit to them, they played a clean game.
How did you assess the pick six?
I got to go look at it. You know, I think he was trying to make a play. He was under duress there. I think he saw Josh. Obviously, Joseph picked it off. He's one of the best safeties in the league. I think both those safeties are really good players. They got tremendous ball skills. I mean, they got 10 picks between the two of them now. So I think you can't do that against those guys, and Joseph made a great play, and that was a big-time play in the game.
Jordan often makes the really exquisite plays, but with that play later in the game, he held it instead of throwing it away, and it was harmed away again. His discernment on when to throw it away, something you looked at.
Everybody's different. You know, I love how he competes, and you know, obviously he wasn't at full strength, and for him to go out there and be able to battle through, I thought that was big of him. You know, it's unfortunate, and but certainly you can't put yourself in a situation where it becomes a game where you're throwing it almost every down. I don't think that's going to be winning football, especially in these types of elements. And we dug ourselves in far too deep of a hole, and then we have an opportunity there, and we don't convert in the red area. That's been a problem. Obviously, 1 of 4 is not good enough, so we got to take a hard look at that over the course of the next week, and figure out what we got to do to be better. Because obviously, when we have opportunities, we're not making the plays, so we've got to really look and see what we're asking our guys to do, and you know. Just got to do a better job.
How do you teach when it is time to abort the play, throw the ball away, and when it's time to actually try to make something out of it when he's getting flushed like that?
Yeah, I think that's a fine line. It's a hard thing to really. You always teach in the rhythm of the play. When it goes off schedule, you just got to be smart. You got to be smart with the football in a one possession game, and I know he's doing everything in his power to make a play. But sometimes, again, I got to go back and look at it before I can give you a good answer on that.
Big picture, though, he was so smart with the football for the second half of last season. He threw 1 pick in the last 8 games. He's now got 10 already this season. What do you think? What are the reasons why that would be the case?
Well, every pick's going to be a little bit different. So, is it something that I am? Or I feel like we can get better. We can learn from it, and I think we will be better moving forward.
Do you guys try and coach catching passes in these conditions a certain way? Why do you think that was such an issue today?
No, you coach the same fundamentals of attacking the football, aggressive hands. It is harder when it's raining out. It is. It's just, but you got to really focus in on just the concentration of it, tucking it all the way in. And obviously we didn't do that.
Matt, the false starts, is that lack of focus too?
Yeah, I think that you can definitely lump those in the focus category where we got to be better, because some of those just are totally unnecessary. You know, we're going on a double cadence, and I never want us, that's an advantage for an offense. I never want us not to do that. Like, I think that's an important part of it. That is your one advantage on offense, is that you control when the ball is snapped. And that's a great advantage when you're at home, when there's not as much crowd noise. And we just got to dial in and be better focused.
You mentioned going 1 for 4 in the red zone. Why do you think your team has been struggling to finish drives consistently throughout the season so far?
Well, I think a lot of it stems back to the penalties. So I would think that's a big part of it. And then we had back-to-back possession, or back-to-back snaps where the ball's on the ground. So that's another one.
Did you get a look at those snaps? Is that Elton?
I haven't seen it. My eyes aren't focused on the snap. My eyes are focused on the defense. Then you look back, you hear, the crowd or whatever, and you look back and the ball's on the ground. So I don't know what happened.
Now, what'd you think of the opportunity you guys kind of squandered, where Branch gets the 15-yard penalty, ejected, gets another 15-yard penalty? What did you think of that situation?
Yeah, we didn't capitalize on it.
Is it a delicate balance with a young quarterback that's capable of making all the plays that Jordan is, to coach him in a way that he still has that?
You guys are going to make. I know. I understand. Like, it's really annoying up here, though. Like, we're obviously, he's fighting, he's competing, and we know that we've got to take care of the football. But I don't question anything about what he's trying to do. We just got to do it better.
2 more, please. Matt, kind of what went through did you know pretty much by Friday that Jordan was going to be able to go, or how did you arrive at the decision?
I mean, we had a good indication that he was able to practice. That was the first day that he really had 1 day of practice. I know he was limited, but limited can mean a lot of different things, right? On Thursday, all he did was individual. So, but the fact that he could go out there on Friday, the only time I thought he really looked hobbled was right at the end of the half. So I went up to him as we were going into that tunnel, and just asked him if he was all right, if he could continue to go. And he's a competitor, and he's gonna. And I talked to our medical staff and asked them if they had any reservations or concerns, and they were comfortable with it. So we let him go.
It looked like early third quarter, Malik was throwing some passes on the sideline. Was there ever a question of whether or not Jordan with the groin would be able to get through the game?
No, I was unaware of that, and I'm sure Malik's just trying to stay ready, stay warm in case you have to go in a moment's notice. What happened in Jacksonville, and obviously it was a little colder game, and so you want to stay loose and you want to stay warm.
Big picture, you're going to see these guys again. You got a hell of a lot more football games after the bye. Obviously you want to win a game like this, especially at home, but in the big grand scheme of things, how do you view this?
I mean, it's disappointing when you have a big game like this against one of the best teams in the league, and you don't feel like there was just too many mistakes, that you can't overcome those against a good football team. And that's exactly what Detroit is. And like I said, they just played a clean game. They really didn't put the ball in jeopardy. I thought Jared was really efficient. I mean, 18 to 22, that's a pretty good day's work. They grinded out. I thought Montgomery was running hard. Gibbs had some really good runs. That's a good offensive line. And I think defensively, they do some things that gives you a little bit of problems. And I thought they did a good job just keeping us a little bit off balance. Was probably anticipating a little bit more man coverage. And they were just jumping in and out of it. And so they did a good job of keeping us a little bit off balance, I would say, offensively. And, it's a good football team.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
As suggested by Gary Ellerson, he got a little testy. It could have been even worse if I'd have been there. Because I said, so he just keeps throwing interceptions. Is it because he's hurt, or this isn't the guy from last year? What's happened? How would you like that as a question, Gary? Isn't that the question?
He's not the guy. He's not the guy. Well, he is the guy from last year. The first 7-8 games, he was awful.
Right.
The last 8 games, he cleaned it up.
Yeah. And
so, you just hope that it happens again this year.
so you think that happens because it's his first year. Now it's his second year, and
it goes. Well, he hinted to it, Homer. The defenses are playing them different than what they played them last year at the end of the year.
All right.
And he said, well, they were jumping in and out of zone. And I had told you earlier this year.
That's how to get it.
It felt like to me that he was a ticker too slow when teams played zone. But when you played man and blitz him, he ate people up. And now, in this game, Detroit was in and out of zone all game long, and it made it a little slower for him to get to his guys.
You nailed that. You nailed that one. All right. It will be Gary Ellerson and Jason Wilde. You ready? You ready for Jason?
We're always ready for Jason.
The two of you are next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait, these popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Experience virtual golf like never before at the Bogey Factory in Verona. From family-friendly mini-games to monthly tournaments, the Bogey Factory has it all. Enhance your swing with their state-of-the-art TrackMan technology, or play a full round on over 300 virtual courses. While you're there, enjoy their full kitchen and sports bar. Whether you're looking for a fun day out with family and friends, or a unique location for a corporate event, the Bogey Factory in Verona has you covered. For more information, visit thebogeyfactory.com. That's thebogeyfactory.com.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truckstar Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truckstar Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truckstar is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truckstar Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
This is Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Tell me now, do you want it? Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night that you ain't keep my tears blue.
The show just keeps getting better, except for the score. It's still 24-14 in favor of the Detroit Lions. What are we at? Our Twitter poll question, 10% believe the Packers are going to win the division, or even that high. It's somewhere in there around 10. Gary Ellerson is with us and now joined by Jason Wilde. Jason, how are you this evening? Can we hear Jay? Can Jason hear me? Because I thought that was a very good introduction. I'm not sure Jason can. We sometimes have technical difficulties, not because of Pebble, because he's doing like workman job, because they have like nine people in different places.
Chris is awesome.
Yeah, I don't think Coach LaFleur was very good at his answer. He just was tired of the question, right?
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right?
I don't.
But I think what. So Matt LaFleur to me is caught in a precarious situation because you want guys to make off-schedule plays, right?
Right. Well, you tell me they do.
They do. They want you to be creative, make off-schedule plays.
All right, we will continue this conversation. Hold on, because I think we now have Jason. Jason is ready to go. I'll ask my great intro again. Good evening, Jason. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for asking. I don't care how you're doing though, because that's how you really want to be on this show. I'm great. Sorry, I don't know what I was doing wrong on the video, but it's good to be with you. Are you freaking out, or are you not really fazed by this? What's the kind of the general fan reaction and
Gary.
the host reaction?
Gary, are you freaking out?
No, not at all. And I know everybody wants to talk about Jordan Love.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Were you a little taken back, Jason, with the presser with Matt LaFleur when you guys kept peppering him with questions about Jordan Love? He seemed to get a little irritated.
He did. He called it really annoying. I mean, look, what I tried to, in the one question that I asked regarding interceptions, and there was somebody else who asked a number more than my one. But what I was trying to get at is trying to understand, why is this happening with a quarterback who, down the stretch last season, in the final 8 games, threw only 1 interception, and now he's thrown 10. And I've explored that previously. You know, I had a long conversation with Jordan a couple weeks ago, and we talked about how he's pushing the envelope and taking some risks, like the throw in L.A. was downfield into triple coverage that Reed came down with. But, like, the interception today, and again, I love this about Jordan. Like, he owns it, right? It's not, he's not like some other players who don't take responsibility. But, like, not to be whatever, but dude, it's 10-3. There's under a minute left in the half. You're in your own half of the field. You can't see. You know that Josh Jacobs is blocking, and then he's going to try and come out for a check down. You're under duress. Just scramble to the right and throw the ball into the third row, man. Like, you have to understand the situation. And the reason why, again, I can't speak for other reporters, but the reason why I had questions is that it is so inconsistent with what he did during the second half of last season, which not coincidentally was why they made the playoffs and then why they beat the daylights out of Mike McCarthy's Dallas Cowboys and why they were in position to beat the 49ers on the road and earn a trip to the NFC Championship game, because he very rarely made mistakes. Now he's thrown a pair of pick sixes on the season, and the decision in that situation is just dumb, and he knows it's dumb. It's just there's this big, amoeba of people, and he can't really see. He admitted he couldn't see Kirby Joseph. So, if you're throwing kind of blindly like that, like, the point is that he knows better. And I'm totally with him when he says that we're a better team than this, and we're going to see these guys again, and all this stuff. I'm totally with him on that. But I would like a greater level of clarity from him on what he really feels like he's doing wrong. Because he said, I got to go through my progressions. Well, that wasn't a progression-related mistake. That was not thinking about the situation you're in. I mean, think about where they are. Think about how the game turns on that. It's 10-3. So at the worst, if you just keep possession of the ball, you go in down 10-3. And even if the Lions go down and score on the opening possession or the third quarter, it doesn't feel insurmountable. But when you throw the pick six and then they score on the opening drive and it's 24-3, you've put yourselves in a pretty darn big hole. So, do I think that he stinks? Of course not. Do I think that my incessant growth is not linear, still applicable to him? Absolutely. So, he knows he's got to be better. He acknowledges he's got to be better. But I am on his team when he says, they haven't played their best game and that they're a better team than what they've shown to this point.
So why is he doing it?
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that. Because I think, I think because look, this wasn't an interception where it was because he was enamored with his arm strength and his playmaking ability. It was he made a bad decision not thinking about the circumstances in which he did it. And, I don't know. Like, because, frankly, he can run the offense exactly as it's designed. And this was the point that we made a couple weeks ago when I talked to him about it. He can run it exactly as it's designed and not take any chances and be boring but not make mistakes. And given the strength of the NFL, you probably win far more games than you lose, right? I mean, there's a lot of not-so-good teams that have mediocre or even above 500 records, in my opinion. But I still think he's trying to figure out his transition from a good young quarterback to face of the franchise quarterback. And there are going to be times when he thinks he's, I don't want to say he thinks he's better than he is, but he thinks that he can, he has so much confidence in his ability that he does things that the situation doesn't call for. And I think that's maybe where this is kind of sneaking into the mistakes. I mean, look, the dude had one interception in the final 8 games of the regular season last year. This year he's played 7.5 games, and he's thrown 10 interceptions. When he threw his, whatever it was, 10 or 11 interceptions in the first 9 games last year, a lot of that was just inexperience, his first year as a starter. We want to believe he's beyond that, but he just isn't, and that's the reality at this point in his development.
How much of it is the injury? I think everyone would have to agree. LaFleur would never admit it. He shouldn't have played. There was no benefit to him playing whatsoever. I'm not saying it's a huge mistake, but anybody who said he shouldn't have played is going to be right. There was no point. He's clearly not the same. He can't run. He doesn't play the position the same. And I'm not saying they would have won without him, but he'd be healthier and nothing was gained. Say something that proves that I'm wrong.
No, I mean, you're playing the results, though, right? Like, you don't go into the game knowing that you're going to... Like, they held a team that had scored 172 points, and I know the weather was bad and everything else.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the defense held up its end of the donkey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave up 17 points to a team that scored 52 last week. You know, they didn't generate enough pressure once again. They got 1 sack. I didn't think they had Jared Goff under nearly enough duress. But, you know, I mean, they had 5 drops. They had a bunch of penalties. You know, I'm sorry, you could say that, it was rainy and the ball was wet, but A, they practiced in almost the exact same conditions on Thursday, and B, the Lions didn't make those same mistakes, and that's an indoor team that's playing 3 outdoor games all year. So I'm hard-pressed to make excuses for them on that front. So, again, they did not play well. Jordan can say we're a better team than that, but the fact of the matter is that really good, he said we're a really good team. That was his quote. That's great, but really good teams don't drop 5 passes, don't commit 10 penalties, don't have 3 bad snaps, and I know they didn't have their normal center, but Jordan's got to handle those. I don't think he looked like a player that was severely curtailed by his injury. I just didn't think he looked that way. Like, I thought he moved fairly well. What I would argue is that when you don't practice on Wednesday, and as LaFleur publicly admitted after the game, he only did individual drills on Thursday, which, again, that's the annoying thing about this limited designation for practice participation, is that basically if you're out there, you could say you're limited, and you don't have any real requirement to say in what ways you were limited and how much you actually did. But to me, what we saw today was evidence. Like, he had that one throw. You know, I know Wicks dropped it and should have caught it, but that should be a touchdown. If he puts it where Wicks needs the ball and he doesn't have to reach back, it's a touchdown. So he was inaccurate at times. He obviously made the bad decision on the pick. I just think it underscores the importance of practice. And this idea that he can play without practicing, like, I still think he's going to be a very good quarterback in this league, but he's not at the point that, like, Aaron Rodgers was. And even Aaron Rodgers, think back to 2022 when he wasn't practicing. Their offense wasn't very good. This is a game that requires practice during the week. You don't play 162 games. You play 17. And that's why you practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to be ready for that game on Sunday.
Gary, take it away.
Well, and I would agree with you. Is it my thought on this year coming in with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, because they had so much success, Jason, at the end of the year, and then I heard Matt LaFleur make mention of something similar to that. These defensive coordinators had all offseason to look at film on the last 9-10 weeks of the year on what they should do to try to slow Jordan Love down a little bit. Maybe are they playing him a little different?
I think they're
finding out here's some things that we can do to him.
Yeah, I mean, look, the one thing that LaFleur publicly admitted after the game too was that they expected way more man coverage, and they didn't get it.
Yep.
So while I don't think I don't think he's at the point that Rodgers was at, where essentially teams would play vastly different than they normally would. Like if they were a zone team, there were tons of instances where zone teams would come in and play all man-to-man coverage because they they knew how smart Rodgers was, and they needed to throw him completely off at least that was their theory, by playing completely differently than they would normally play, which is a pretty risky way to go about your business. But it at times it worked. So I think that's a big part of it. But again, I keep saying this, but he's still a developing quarterback. He is not a finished product, and developing quarterbacks screw up, and that's what he did today. He called it a critical error, and it was especially critical given the moment in time in which it occurred.
Can we say this as well? Could we also say that Matt LaFleur is still developing as well with Jordan Love?
Yeah, first of all, I think Rodgers makes it difficult because, he was given such autonomy under LaFleur that while they did have a play caller quarterback relationship, it wasn't what this one is, which is the continuing process of figuring out what are the best plays for him, what should I ask him to do, how much leash should I give him in order to do certain things that are maybe a little bit outside the design of the play, all those types of things. So I don't think that that's a finished relationship either. I will say this, I believe it is a much healthier relationship and a much more respectful relationship.
Absolutely.
What else should we ask about or no?
Well, because we've been talking about Jordan Love a lot, but I don't think we've talked about, had we known that this defense would come in, I thought the defense played not exceptional, but I thought the defense played well enough to win.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question they did. Obviously I thought Quay Walker, I don't know what he was doing on the Jahmyr Gibbs 15-yard touchdown run. I didn't understand. It looked like he just completely misplayed that. It was a 4th and 1 play, and Jahmyr Gibbs basically runs untouched to the end zone. Again, I'll have to go back and look at it, like Matt LaFleur likes to say, but it looked like he was out of position there, which is what opened up the lane to the end zone. But no, I thought the defense more than held up its end of the donkey. And, again, not great conditions for offensive football, but I go back to what Rodgers used to always say. It's not rain, it's not snow, it's not cold weather, it's just wind. Wind is really the only thing that really affected him as a player. And I think, maybe other things affect them, but, I don't think the Packers lost today because it rained and because, Love couldn't handle some snaps or his receivers couldn't handle some balls. Look, they were gifted a great opportunity when, Brian Branch takes that cheap shot on Bo Melton. They got 30 yards. Not only did he get ejected, not only did they get 15 yards, but then they got another 15 yards for him jawing and giving the double middle finger to the officials and everything else. So you've been gifted 30 yards of penalty yardage, and then you A, settle for a field goal, and B, you miss it. That was a critical juncture of the game that was a wasted opportunity that changes the complexion of what happens thereafter.
And he's out of the game, and he's good.
Yeah, he's a really good player. Yeah.
All right, injuries, anything else? Because we have, of course, we'll get to the Boucher Automotive drive of the game. But first of all, the injury report presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Where there is a difference, visit orthowisconsin.com today for info. Some people didn't play. Then anybody get hurt or give us the post-game update.
Yeah, the only injury that I know of is that one of their defensive linemen, Colby Wooden, left with a shoulder injury. But they did play without Jair Alexander, who was inactive. They played without Josh Myers, their starting center, who was inactive. But Love played. I really like, and still like, I shouldn't say past tense, he just doesn't work here anymore. I'm a big Aaron Jones guy. Total stand-up guy in the locker room, outstanding teammate, outstanding leader. I like everything about him. He's great with the media. Anytime I had a question, even if he was, rushed to get to a meeting, he always was incredibly respectful and thoughtful with me. So I miss him. I want to be very clear on that. That said, they did not downgrade with Josh Jacobs. They didn't. He's maybe not as big of a threat in the pass game as Aaron Jones is, but Josh Jacobs is a pretty darn good football player. And for a guy who was questionable with an ankle injury, 13 carries, 95 yards, I mean, that's another reason why the interception is such a colossal mistake, because it puts you in such catch-up mode then that you got a guy who's averaging 7.3 yards per carry. And, oh, by the way, Emmanuel Wilson averaged 7 yards a carry. As a team, including 3 0-yard runs for Jordan Love on the 2 fumbled snaps or the 3 fumbled snaps, they still averaged 6 yards a carry as a team. But when you get down 24-3, you can't run the ball like you want to anymore. So, those kinds of things really hurt them today.
All right, the Boucher Automotive drive of the game. Jason, you always have great things to say about Boucher Automotive. I'm curious as to your drive of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought their drive that culminates in Emmanuel Wilson's run, that was all just too little too late. It was 3:49 left. I mean, it's great that they get in the end zone, but, I mean, they had just so little to show for having 411 total yards of offense. Yep. And they went 1 for 4 in the red zone. They were 3 of 12 on third down. Like, you can't create those long drives that Boucher Automotive rides with you every mile on if you can't convert third downs. That's how you end up getting off the field. And so, we came into this game with some of the offensive players talking about the fact that they didn't really feel very good about how the offense was running, and that they were concerned about, they had the 5 3-and-outs plus the 2 picks against Houston. They had the inconsistency against Jacksonville, even when Love was in the game against Jacksonville. So, their offense is not clicking. And today, they got a bunch of yards, but a lot of it was garbage yards. It didn't really mean much. So, they definitely go into the bye week with some work to do, and it's mostly, I would argue, on the offensive side of the business.
And anything you'd like to add about Boucher Automotive and for over 4 decades?
Yeah, obviously I'm a huge fan of Mike Hansen and Scott Foote and the whole team over at the Nissan dealership in Greenfield. They take great care of Paula and the girls and I. So they ride with us every mile, and they'll ride with you. I mean, you're the one who's bought like 16 vehicles from them over the years. I think I'm up to like 6 or 7.
You got a few more to go. You're a little bit behind us. But I've told them you have potential. You have potential.
Yeah.
And yours are usually more expensive than the ones that I buy too. So.
Well, that's true, but I don't need quite as many yet. I'm not going to let the girls.
You don't have backups like I have.
Turn 16, so.
So you got a week off for the bye week, and then it's the Bears and.
Yeah, well, not only it's the Bears, but then it's the 49ers. So, the Bears obviously have come back to earth a bit, and I'll be curious to see what that matchup's like. But again, you're going down to Chicago, certainly with their new quarterback, with Caleb Williams. I'm sure they're feeling like, okay, now we put an end to this 10-0 Matt LaFleur against us. I would expect that they come into that game believing that they can continue the Packers' misery and have them go into and out of the bye with losses, and have them sitting at 6-4 when they're done with them.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, all Packers all the time. We got more, not much more, but enough to get some final thoughts from Gary Ellerson soon. I'm not
We're
sure.
back with
what's
Green
next.
Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Kyle Walls here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman, and football season is back, and you know I'm watching every snap with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app in my hand. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. You make picks for your pick'em entry and choose if a player will go higher or lower when it comes to their stats. Maybe it's Jordan Love higher than 2.5 touchdown passes, or even Tyreek Hill lower than 150 receiving yards. Over 1 million fans got in on the action last season, and it is time for you to jump aboard. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app at UnderdogFantasy.com or sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code KBN to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Join me this football season and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
What is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea?
Why do you keep saying it like that?
Mediterranean, because that's how I say Mediterranean. How are you supposed to say it?
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean. I
There's
say
T's in
Mediterranean.
there.
I say Mediterranean. I skip a whole bunch of stuff.
He
That's how I
changes
say
the
it.
T's to D's.
Mediterranean. That's how I say it.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then, with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
It's Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. Call the Boda Box wine line at 800-990-3776.
We will get to Gary Ellerson's final comments, but I do want to mention the Vikings were down 7-0. They're now ahead 14-7 against the Colts. Packers lose 24-14 to the Lions. And let me read these team stats, Gary. You explain how this happens. The Packers had 411 total yards. Detroit had 261. Now, granted, the Packers did have a turnover. That was huge, but that's an incredible difference. Any discussion about the Packers being able to stop the run in terms of rushing, you have 124 for Detroit and 138 for Green Bay. So is this your classic, forget everything, you lose turnovers, you're going to lose the game, though the Packers have won games this year when they lost the turnovers. Take it away, Gary.
Yeah, the Packers have been lucky to win those games. But and it felt like those yards were empty yards. Jordan Love most certainly hit. Jaden Reed had a really good game. He was outstanding. Christian Watson caught a couple passes. But they could have leaned on Josh Jacobs a little bit more. I always have a problem with that.
You say that about every game. You didn't say it when Willis was the quarterback.
Unless Malik is quarterback, and then they seem to do what I want them to do. But I think the bye week could come at a better time. It just felt like this team was like they were just, I don't know if tired would be the word, but they're pretty banged up, and I feel like the bye week comes right in time for them to clean up some of these mistakes, pre-snap penalties they were making. I mean, you're going to a bye week, Homer, and you're 6-3. That's a pretty good record.
Yeah, I think it's a very good record, and now you have to play at that level. You were at the game, though. There's discussion about it, and there's going to be about how many Lions fans were there. I don't think anybody could tell how many fans were there because everybody's wearing a poncho or something to protect them from the rain. But there will be the analysis that there wasn't enough of a home crowd feeling as there should be. Will that discussion be accurate?
There were more Lions fans last year than it was this year. I will say that.
Okay.
But there still was quite a bit. There still was quite a bit of Honolulu blue in the stands.
The final thoughts, the best thoughts from Gary Ellerson. Packers lose 24-14. That hasn't changed. We're going to take a break and then let you close however you wish. Next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Vote her out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
It seems like they're taking the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl in Cincinnati, is how I view that expression.
Did you just bring up a schoolyard?
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery.
I was calling the Cleveland Browns poop while also tying in the Cincinnati
recess joke.
I thought I nailed it.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on ESPN Medicine's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Black Friday is Cash Friday at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. On Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m., 18 winners will each take home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500 in our Cash Friday promotion. And at 8 p.m., one winner will take home the $40,000 grand prize. Plus, November 29th is Ho Chunk Day. And we're celebrating by giving the first 500 guests visiting our Rewards Club booth $25 in rewards play. Cash Friday is a holiday tradition at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Josh Gabel is a service manager with Kirsch Appliance. They have printer technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Josh?
I would say you're a business partner in helping us do what we need to do.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company with the whole package. Better technology, better support, better service.
You're always willing to help with any issues and have a good attitude.
An attitude of doing whatever it takes to help local businesses run more smoothly, efficiently, and cost-effectively, all to help their clients be more competitive and more successful. Josh, anything you'd like to tell others about James Imaging Systems?
Yeah, they will provide what you're looking for and figure out what solutions you need and come up with a good plan for you.
Sounds like a good plan, all right. Document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Prairie Athletic Club is the ultimate destination for health, wellness, and crushing your goals. This is Sarah Tauscher. Say goodbye to post-workout aches and pains at the Pack's new Recovery Zone. With their assisted stretch and pneumatic boot sessions, you can get instant results, leaving you feeling refreshed and ready to tackle your next workout. Don't believe it works? Give it a try. Stop in, stretch your body, and relax your mind at the Pack. Visit prairieathletic.com to learn more. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, community.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Heart disease and stroke claim more lives per year than all forms of cancer combined. So let's make sure you're keeping your heart healthy. Join Stoughton Health's advanced practice nurse Tina DeGroot for Cardiology 101, a 60-minute free online talk on Thursday, November 7th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We'll explore topics like how does the heart work, lifestyle choices that affect the heart, medications that are used to prevent and treat heart disease. To sign up, visit stoughtonhealth.com, then click on Classes and Events.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Game night on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. React to the game by calling the Boda Box Wine Line, 800-990-3776.
The Colts are coming back. It was 7-0 Colts. Then it was 14-7 the Vikings over the Colts, and now it's 14-10 Vikings, but the Colts have the ball, and they have about a quarter to play. And yes, I mention it because everything is important as it relates to the Green Bay Packers. The Bears lost, and any thought of all teams making the playoffs from the Packers division, you can forget about it because of the Bears. They were beaten by Arizona by 29-9, and it wasn't that close. All right, the final thoughts from Gary Ellerson. Sometimes I wish I had the final thoughts, but when the Packers lose 24-14 at home to the Detroit Lions, and I'm not sure that it was that close. In fact, I know it wasn't after the Packers got behind 24-3 given the weather. The first drive of the second half, I said, this baby is over given the conditions. I don't know if, Gary, you felt the same way. You can answer that and then give us your final thoughts.
Was that your final thought?
My final thought was to steal what Tauscher said, where he said, I'm disappointed, but I'm not, I'm discouraged, but I'm not. Hold on, I wrote it down here, and I got to do it again. Hold on, I got it here. It's good. I'm disappointed, but not discouraged. There
it is.
I'm becoming a little worried about Jordan Love, but I'm willing to give him a pass because of his condition. Because he's not 100%. He can't. I mean, I'm no expert on how he throws the ball. It seems like he threw more on the back. He's just not. He's not physically 100%, and he had adjustment to make this year, as you talked about, even when healthy. Well, now he's not healthy, and it's complicated. It's a mess. That's why I wouldn't have played him. But I still believe in this team. I still believe in him. But the interceptions can't continue, or there's a limit to how far the Packers can do it, and nothing else really matters. How about that?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I like your final thought. we can end on that one.
Was there anything you liked in the game? I guess the defense, right? We shouldn't forget that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that as much because everything has been centered around Jordan Love. Listen, Homer, I just think that the bye week comes at a great time for them. And now they can regroup, get healthy, because I think they're a team that's pretty banged up. And we'll see if Jordan Love continues to grow. That's what it's all about.
Right. And at 6-2, they had a little bit of a cushion to where if this didn't go well, you're still 6-3.
Right. You're good.
And whatever
6-3, we're 6-3 at the halfway mark. I take that.
And whatever cushion the Bears had, they've lost it.
Right.
They're now 4-4.
Now we just gotta hope for Vikings loss right now.
Yeah. All right. Next week you're off. We will miss you. And back in 2 weeks after a win in Chicago. We won't be in Chicago, but the Packers will over the Bears.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, and I'll see you Friday for the Omaha Hour.
That you will. I don't know if you'll be on fire this Friday as good as you were last Friday, but give it your best shot.
Sure. Bye.
All right. Gary Ellerson. Before that, we had Mark Tauscher, and we had Jason Woolley. We heard from Matt LaFleur. It's just never as much fun after a Packer loss. Packers lose 24-14 to the Lions. Now Minnesota has the ball in Colts territory with the Vikings leading Joe Flacco and the Indianapolis Colts. That is amazing. I would have thought it likely that Johnny Unitas would be playing quarterback as much as Joe Flacco. He's got to be, is he 40-something? And when he plays now, he plays pretty well. So the bye week is next. Then it's the Bears on the road. Then it is the 49ers at home. And the Packers need to beat the 49ers, whatever time of the season it is. To ESPN National, right, Pebble? It might not be as good, but they'll give it their best shot. Next.
Tito's Handmade
Here's
Vodka
what
is
Teddy
America's...
Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most